Hello and welcome back to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob, and as ever I'm joined by my wonderful players Matt, Mike and Dom, and I ask the immortal question that rolls down hills when pushed slightly. What happened previously on Knights of the Apocalypse? It's an open question.
Apparently nobody knows. Anybody?
Anybody? Does anybody know?
Anybody want to take it?
Swarm of bats made up the face of Nemorator, Derek Redhaven, and he was taunting us along the lines of, I gave you an invitation ages ago. I was going to bring you here, and now you're sneaking your way over, suggesting his doors were open. Yes, taunting and the like, and
He was being threatening. He was pretending like he wasn't, but he was being threatening.
Yes.
Call my wife a bitch. Call my wife a bitch. I'm not having that.
He did call your wife a bitch. He did.
I forgot about that.
Disrespectful motherfucker.
He was in the moment. What can I say? He was in the moment.
I was in the moment.
I was in the moment, guys.
All right,
Come on.
Rob.
You'll find a written apology later saying, I'm very sorry.
Very sorry for those offended for Darren Gravehaven's description of a fictional character's fictional life.
Yes, I refer only to fictional made-up characters that represent... Disclaimer: none of the characters in this series represent anybody.
Promise. So yes, yes.
Yeah, we had a little conversation with him, in sort of bat face form, and we didn't really play up to his games. We weren't like, "Oh yes, you invited us," and blah blah blah. We were just like, "No, we've come to pretty much kill you."
Yeah, pretty much.
And he was like, "Well, you're not going to, succeed." And we were like, "Probably not. We're going to try."
Other shot.
Everything here can kill us. Everything here can kill us, and we're okay with it. So we're gonna give it our best, the old college try, and see how we get on. And that was pretty much where we left that conversation. He disappeared and said, "Right, bring it on." And we were like, "Yeah, we're going to bring it."
Yes, he said that while he is welcoming you to Castle Redhaven, those that follow him will not show you or extend to you the same courtesy, and you are left in the rain, which turned out to be blood raining from above. And then you went and had a wash.
Yeah,
We did.
it was a single face wipe,
Made sure.
and
And a
then we
level
were
up.
perfectly clean again.
And then we moseyed towards the hollow descent.
We walked
That is correct.
on our own 2 feet.
We found ourselves at a sort of cliff face, looking down across a landscape. We could see the hollow descent. We could see Castle Redhaven in the distance, and lots of sort of points of light on the hollow descent kind of thing. As we got closer, we could see that there were mirrors, lots of mirrors. We were presented with either attempt to go straight towards the castle, commit to the climb, or there was a cave off to the side that looked suspicious, like it could be maybe a second entrance or a way in, and so we thought we would explore that. We did check out the mirrors, though.
Yes, the mirrors in the hollow, I guess.
Yeah, Ansel took particular interest, I think, in the mirrors.
Yes.
Yes, we got some information later. If only we'd got a bit more, but alas, we'll come to that in a bit. Ansel figured out it was essentially a version of what was in the Temple of Pelor.
Yes.
And
Yeah, the mirrors arranged around the inside of the hollow is wholesale ripped from the mirror corridor that was in the Templar Pelor that used mirrors and devices to channel beams of light into different places.
Except in the Temple of Palor it would be the sun, and here it is moonlight.
Yes, Trick was sent up to look into the mirror and said that he saw almost like a shadow of the world looking back at him, like an eerie kind of reflection. Like these aren't just ordinary mirrors; they're enchanted with some magic or other. But that's all you could really glean from those from the mirrors. After all, they are considerably high up as well, so quite difficult to access.
We got what we could, information-wise, at that point in time, but we were quite exposed, and wanted to sort of get moving in or up.
And
so
we went to the cave.
We did the cave of wonders.
We went spelunking.
Yes, we did.
We didn't spot.
We went spelunking.
The dangers that lay behind us, but we were greeted eventually by the cackling and laughing of hyena.
Mysterious.
Lots of people called Noel.
Yeah, Noel Edmonds.
We were attacked by Noel Edmonds,
Fielding.
Noel Gallagher.
Noel Edmonds. Fielding.
There was a whole bunch of Noels who we fought for a bit. It was a fun combat. And then they went and sprung their little trap, where only one member of the party, that would be me, was stuck in the bloody hallway, in the entranceway, and a big beast that liked to rend and was grey came in behind us. And was a challenging-ish fight. I think that because we'd taken care of quite a lot of the dudes inside, we could focus on it, which was its downfall, because we negged it a lot. And yeah, we took it down, and then we had this place as a base. Once we got the thing back open and everything was dead.
That's right. From investigating deeper into this place after killing the shaman that was performing some rite before another altar of the hunger, another one that you've discovered, there was a dead body there.
Yes, there was. And we asked it some questions. I can't remember off the top of my head at all now. God.
Well, vaguely.
To keep its information. There was a sluice gate which we could sneak our way into the castle.
That's the one. That's the jobby.
Like York, there's plenty of sluices in York.
Loads.
So many sluices.
But he also, and the last bit we got was he was instrumental in kind of making and sort of maintaining the mirror contraption, but figured out what it was going to do, started to attempt to sabotage it, got caught.
And then we ran out of questions before we could ask.
We assume
more
was then
about that.
handed over to the Knolls,
Yes.
but we're not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, well, he did say that he was fed to them. Now, why this guy would just wander out into the dark on his own, perhaps you don't know. But yes,
no, I would assume that he was told to, but through domination, had no choice.
Likely the cause, absolutely, and was set about by these mysterious hyena creatures that you keep encountering that don't know the name of, and then that was that. Yes, that was your last question, and that is where we left the strangers, and thus that is where
Almost, if I remember correctly, during the evening, because we did go and scout where the sluice gate was.
You
but
did
during
go,
the evening,
yes, you did.
I think it was actually Silaster who failed or got the lowest, to which Darrick's taunting went into Silaster's meditative mind, showing illusions of a world to come. and then showed him as well what was to be expected were they to walk up to the castle, and it was hordes. It was
a massive amount of stuff that, on their own, kill us easily. The stuff that made us go,
Was it 4 night spawns?
I think there was 3.
3.
Could be
There
4,
was
actually.
certainly multiple.
More than 1.
And quite a lot of other things.
That's right.
We did make the choice that we were going to go for the sluice gate, though, and we did find it, because I think we rolled quite well.
Yeah, you did, actually. You did roll incredibly well. Because, yes, you're absolutely right. You did go and investigate. You spent the rest of the day investigating and finding that, so you know where to go now. And then you rested. And then, Silaster, that is when you experience that vision. And as you break from your meditation, Silaster, that is where we rejoin the strangers. You come to from this dream, Silaster. I believe you do your meditations first, right? That's how it works.
Yes. I only need the 4 hours.
That's right. So Obsidian and Ansel would be able to get their rest in, but probably whilst Obsidian, either before or after, it was suggested that your enemy will soon become your friend. So perhaps the preparation of that has begun as well. As you can see, this boy is taking on a familiar shade of green.
Yeah. I think Obsidian will have... he raised the troll quite quickly. He was in a bit of a hurry. And so he will have spent the time while Silaster was meditating. He would have spent a bit of time on the Grey Render, just doing some work on it. So now it's he's pieced together a wig, a kind of curly wig that's sort of really like like they wear in courtrooms. It's got one over the shoulder, one
like
cape,
a judge or a lawyer,
like a judge. Yeah,
A powdered wig.
Yeah, powdered wig kind of thing. One cloak, one shoulder cloak. It's had its nails done.
Is it ermine? Is it like a House of Lords representative?
Yeah. All mottled and grey, just like all the House of Lords representatives.
Pretty much.
Here to rend
And it
your
can't
policies
speak,
asunder.
but it can say order.
Yeah, so you, Silaster, would have come out of this this vision as it comes round to the point where the watch is supposed to swap. Is there anything you do mid-watch, or do you just...
I strike at the grey render that's approached me, that's sitting on me. I would... Yeah, Derek has shown me what lies above.
And
we are outnumbered. Majorly so. More of those night spawn.
Hey, we've been outnumbered many times before.
Ethradens of a world ruptured. Schism. But I do not know if walking straight in will be the best course of action.
walking straight in is seldom the best course of action.
I may be able to pass through, but I couldn't extend that courtesy to potentially both of you.
Well, if you were to borrow someone from inside, I could make use of them as cover.
I see.
Steal their face.
Mm-hmm.
The other option, just for the moment, we take a detour back to the machine. That mirror contraption. Who knows?
And do what?
Who knows? Maybe Derek has been arrogant enough to leave the prism there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Seems unlikely.
Yeah. Spooky. I don't know. I don't think we're going in the front gate anyway if we're using this.
Well, even by the sluice.
Entrance.
I suspect one wrong move and they'll all be upon us.
Yeah. You think that there's going to be a way of doing things where that's not going to be the case?
There may have been a quieter option.
I mean, I'm not opposed if you want to go and look at the mirrors. I don't know what we're going to do with them because we don't know what they're for. We can try and break them. But that's 7 years of bad luck, and, you know, there's a lot of mirrors.
There's a lot of mirrors. And they're magical, so it's even harder.
Yeah. Bad luck just means disadvantage, right? So we just every mirror we break. That's another 7 years. Another 7 years of disadvantage forever.
Each mirror we break gives Rob an extra ruination.
Yeah.
20 mirrors, 20 ruination dice. Well, sleep on it, the two of you. And maybe we should make a decision when you're both clearer of mind. And I have had a time to dwell.
Oh, I was under the impression we had slept. Okay. We'll sleep.
Yes, let's.
I'm not sure I'll have much more of an idea in the morning what to do, but...
With that, I'd already done some rolls before we started, and there doesn't appear to be anything that disturbs you. You appear to be quite well concealed in this hovel of the hunger. And you're able to rest, you're able to regain your abilities, and of course get the health back that is owed to you. This counts as a secure rest because you have taken the time to make this sort of like your area. So this is a secure rest even though you are in enemy territory.
Lovely.
So what will it be then? Are you going to go back to the site of the mirrors, or are you going to go and look at the where the sluice runs from?
Sluice. Such a horrible word.
It's just the worst, isn't it? But we're just gonna keep saying it.
It sounds like it's an offlet for sewage. I can't. It just does.
Well,
sounds
I think
like
they
we're going to
do
crawl some shit.
sluice gates. So yeah, they filter.
Yeah.
It's like a steady control of water being released from an area. So that's obviously
It's going to be. We're going to
water's coming from
climb
the
through a
castle.
whole
Yeah.
load of vampire poo.
Vampire poo.
Ugh. You know that's going to rank. It's up to you guys. I really don't mind. I'm not sure we're going to get much more out of the mirror situation than we got, but we might. I don't want to be negative. We might.
I suppose there's me thinking if we go up and try to work our way down, we may encounter more issues trying to climb down.
But we don't need to climb down. Because once we're up there, if we get the device, if we get the fugue prism, even if we can't destroy it, we do have a teleport. We can teleport back here very safely. This is more than studied carefully, very familiar. Or I don't know. We've sat and whatever we spent the night here.
Yeah,
Should
this
be
is
able to
studied
teleport back here nice and
carefully.
easily.
Ansel specifically studied the area last session, so.
And if we want to be further afield, Ansel did state as well that he'd studied another area that was beyond, at the top of the cliff that we went down, just in case we want to be further away. So, like, actually, if we're in desperate need and we need to get away quickly, we're gone. So I don't know about getting down.
You can always teleport to one and then go through the book to go even further.
Although you remember that cliff face was some days away, so you would be teleporting somewhere that would be a good number of days' travel back on foot.
Assuming we're coming back.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Absolutely.
Run away!
I don't think we wouldn't be thinking in those terms if we were desperate enough to use a teleport to get that far away. I think we would just be thinking get away. So,
yeah,
I personally vote that we go for the sluice gate and do a bit of scouting at least as to how to get in.
Okay.
I don't think that we will ever actually need to go into the mirror bit of the hollow descent. I suspect anything will be wherever that's pointing, or within the castle. I don't know that we'll necessarily need to be at the mirrors themselves. I may be wrong.
It's rather abrupt end to the music there. I do apologise. In that case, then, you'll head out to where you found that that fast-flowing stream. It doesn't take you particularly long. You are on the dawn of the 28th day. You know that the day that Derek has often made reference to now is on the 31st day. So that just as a reference. Yeah. You can each give me a spot check. Get those bones rolling, warm them up for the session ahead.
Oh, 27.
Ooh, Blaster.
What do your eyes
Is that
see?
the
Wow,
camera
my
zooming in
goodness.
on your face and then the light?
Yes.
You are pretty much leaving at dawn, and the sun is pretty much on the horizon, rising up. And Obsidian, you're pretty much focused on the task at hand, getting to where you were before. Ansel and Silasser, you're pretty much on it straight away. However, you note that there are huge flocks of these bats once again. And they appear to be moving in a perimeter around the area. They appear... well, Ansel, that's what you make out with the 21. Silaster, you're able to tell from that spot check the incrementation of like when they're going to be over you and how much time you have. So... you know that if you want your actions to be, well, taking place not around those bats, you need to have to time it carefully, shall we say.
Well then, let's not be hasty. Get ready to run.
Worth trying to disguise our entrance to it as well.
Let's see.
Do we need to hide at all, or can we just time it?
You're pretty confident that you would be able to time it, because you've already been to that location once before. But if you wanted to do it stealthily, then that would require some hide checks from the three of you.
Yeah, oh, why not? I'll try. Give it a go.
So give us the high checks first. You might just be able to time it and not have to worry about it, but let's have the high checks anyway, just in case.
37.
16. Actually, for me, not that bad.
30 is better than me.
Oh dear.
You can, as I recall, there's something in the rules that says that you can have someone help you with hide, but I think that might be like when you're stationary, they can help conceal you. So, okay, you're able to make you're pretty confident that you've led the others to places unseen, Silaster. A question I must ask though is, Obsidian, of your undead host, are you bringing any with you from the cave?
Oh yeah, I wanted to bring the Grey Render.
So the Grey Render is coming with
the
you.
Grey Render zombie.
Very good.
Which is he's going to be very hard to hide, isn't he?
No, just
there
curious.
There's literally 0 point in trying hiding.
So the Grey Render with this powdered wig, or the Grave Render, as Ansel coined him last session, which I quite like actually. The Grave Render, sort of stumps along behind you. He's a big boy, but it doesn't look like he's out of place. To be honest, this is his environment. This is where this creature had dwelt before, when it was living. You don't know. It seems almost like it seems to have retained part of its sensibilities, as we described last session. I don't know if we were on the stream or not, but the Gnolls had sort of manipulated the Grey Render, creatures that sort of attach themselves. They have these emotional links to things that they decide they just want to look after. And in this case, the Grey Render had wanted to look after the Gnolls. Now risen from the dead, though, that furious. Well, that's why. So they would trick people into coming into their cave, and then the Grey Render would rush to their defense and kill their foes for them. Hence the gate to come up to stop them from getting in. They get trapped by the Grey Render. Boom, dead. That ferocious, protective nature appears to have transferred onto the zombie version. Was it a skeleton version? Sorry, Obsidian.
Zombie.
It seems to have transferred in some way to it, because it seems to be very protective around you. However, when you reach the sluice, you note that, as before, you see this big sort of drop where water gushes out from the side of the cliff face. You can tell just from looking at it that a Grey Render is going to find it incredibly hard to fit in the hole at the top.
Bums. Absolute bums.
It does have big shovel-like claws.
Yeah. It does. It's kind of difficult, actually, because it does, where it says skills, it doesn't have any. It's just a dash. For a Grey Render zombie. Because it's a zombie, it wouldn't have skills. But I appreciate that it wouldn't, because it's a zombie and therefore non-intelligent, mindless. But at the same time, climb should still be, because it's a physical skill, and in some way it wouldn't have that.
Yes, so whatever its strength is, I imagine, would just go on to its climb. But the climb probably wouldn't be the issue.
No, you're talking about ripping open the opening so it can come through.
Well, if that you don't know, you won't know if that's possible or not until you're up there. It's quite a way up.
Well, let's go and we'll give it a go. Might as well. It'll come with us until it can't anymore.
Very good. So if you'd like to make some climb checks, please, and you can do one for the Grey Render as well, please, then, Matthew, and use his strength score modifier to be his climb, then, in that case.
Okay. I'm going to ask, as I have this beautiful Grey Render zombie, would it be possible for me to just basically get on its shoulders?
Oh,
and
yeah.
It do the climbing.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Because my climb is -1.
Yeah.
got a slightly better climb, and it can carry me easily with its strength because it's massive as well. So,
yeah, of course.
What size category is this Grey Render?
So this Grey Render is technically a huge Grey Render. They ordinarily are large, but this one is one size category bigger. So you actually have a huge Grey Render zombie.
Ooh, that's actually going to change the stats that I've got here.
Yeah, sorry, I should have. I absolutely should have.
No,
that.
that's fine. I'm just thinking of what the stats do as far as size category. Does strength go up?
Yes, it does. It would go up by +4, I believe it is. I think most things just go up by +4. His armor class comes down because of its size.
Yeah, one category up is +4.
Yeah.
From what it is. I'll look at Ansel and just open the bag of holding and just gesture like, huh?
Ansel can climb. Doesn't need your help. He's got long arms.
So that's still drop into Dance of the Spider and just walk up the wall then. So he's just...
Yeah, so you rush up the cliff face beside the waterfall. So you're able to do that easily. Ansel
18. There you go.
Gets an 18, so Ansel, you're able to begin scaling and reach this fissure in the rock that the water pours from. And let's have one for the Grey Render as well.
It would be the modifier of a plus of 33 in strength.
Bloody hell, Kai.
Because it's on the large would be 25. Add 4 to that to be
plus 11, I think.
30's 10. 32 is yeah.
And I add 4 because I created it because it gets a +4 because of my undead mastery. So 25, so 9
plus
11, 12, 13, so it's 33. So plus 11.
Wow.
This is just strength. 20. That's its climb.
Yeah, you're able to...
As Obsidian is literally just clinging round its neck. Off the back. It's wearing me like a cape.
It has these great, like, shovel-like claws that it uses to rend, obviously, and it just grips into the rock and starts climbing up, digging out hand or claw holes into the place as you go all the way up. And it doesn't take that long for it to reach the point where the water's gushing out of the side of this big cliff face. But it is to your dismay, Obsidian, that you see what the other two now see, which is that this entryway is barely enough room for a medium-sized person to enter, let alone a Grey Render. He can set to digging and see how he gets on, but you don't know. It looks like it widens out when you're looking in there, but some way in it widens out. So
I'll walk over to Obsidian, partly upside down at this point. I don't know what angle I'm on. Is this like just a steep climb like that?
There's like a little ledge that you can stand on, where obviously it has been eroded by the water rushing over it for so many years. But other than that,
then I will open up the bag of holding and just go, huh?
I don't think he'll fit, will he?
No, he won't fit in the bag of holding.
No, Obsidian in the bag of holding.
Obsidian's already up there.
Oh, but through the gate.
Yeah, I can fit through the gate. I've got no problem fitting through the gate. It's the Grey Render.
Grey Render can't fit through the gate.
You're just desperate for somebody to go into that bag of holding because there's so much time in it.
It's a little bit weird how much you want someone to get in that bag.
I'm just trying to think of some way to take my new toy with me, but I don't think there's a way of bringing it, which is annoying.
You could shrink it if you had the power.
I can't, I'm afraid. I don't have any way of doing that.
Do remember that this, you did say that you wanted to mount a kind of campaign from your cave. So you can send the Grey Render back to your cave to use at another time. Not in this initial skirmish. Yeah. It's up to you.
That's a shame. Bugger. Okay, yeah, I suppose. Well, I've got no choice. He's not going to make it through this hole, is he? So
you could ask him to start digging. It's up to you.
Yeah, but they're going to take ages, and we want to carry on when we get past the point. We don't want to sit and wait for it to get through, and then it won't be able to find us again. It's non-intelligent, so yeah, I guess I'll just send it back to the cave. And if I have the opportunity to raise any more undead, yeah, I'll have a go in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. Never mind.
So you have this narrow passageway in which the water is really just shooting through, but like I mentioned, a bit further in it does widen out, and you are eventually greeted to the sight of this tunnel that is lit by bioluminescence. There's sort of like a strange blue algae that gleams upon stalagmites, because they're on the ground, and hopefully you should be able to see them. And you should be able to see your position.
Oh, yes.
There we are. So you're in there. The Shade and Trick are also with you there as well, hopefully. Yes. And yeah, there's this tunnel, and there's sort of this cold air rushing past you as this fast-flowing water moves along next to you.
Oh, this is very pretty. Take us to all the best places, so Lester.
Well, let's be on our guards.
Always.
Onwards,
I'm
Christian
going
soldier.
to. I think it's safe to assume that Ansel's magic, dark sight, and the invisibility is active for this.
Yeah, there's nothing really innately magical around you other than those familiar senses that are from you and from your friends' various magical accoutrements. For the time being, at the very least, but I will let you know if you do sense anything. So, this passageway appears to just head upwards in a sort of like a relatively steep incline.
Well, shall we?
That's how. I mean, with the water running by, I'm not too concerned at this point about moving silently, I reckon, but...
Yeah, the water is pretty loud, concealing the sound of your movement, certainly. You have been sort of like moving for some time, and eventually you come to the base of a stone structure, clearly made by someone or something, and it rises up into the cave ceiling above. There is a pool of quite clear water. This is clearly the source of the rushing torrent.
Just realised I've missed a great opportunity to do my favourite noise.
Very good.
Is it a sort of tower ahead of us?
What's that?
It kind of is. It kind of does look like a tower. It's a cylindrical sort of shape, and it does rise up. You can give me a You can give me a spot check.
18.
A bit of spot. 6.
9.
Silasta, you're looking at this this water, and it is relatively clear, like I say, and through its current, you can make out that there is like a gap, like there's clearly like an entryway under the surface that leads into this stone column. You can see that this is the base of a well. And that the thing in front of you must be completely filled with water.
Well.
Ha! Very good.
Can you hold your breath?
For a little while.
Yeah, why not? I can't swim, particularly, but I'm sure I can hold my breath.
You may be lucky. They may have lowered a rope.
Anything else in the...
There's something red over there.
Yes.
There is something red over there.
That flash of red caught my eye as well.
Let's investigate.
Be careful, Silasta.
Oh. I will carefully poke my head.
Give me a move silently or a hide if you like. It's up to you.
38.
Very good. That's come up on my DM one, but not on the streaming one. Once again, the rolls being funny for me, but that's fine. I can see it on mine. Yes, at 38, you are silent as the grave. There it is. You notice that there is a tinge of iron in the air. You round a corner that you had not had seen when you first entered the room or this cave. And yeah, there appears to be a passageway that leads in a different direction, sort of back on where you came from. And there appears to be long puddles of crimson, dark blood. A passageway that continues into the darkness.
Well, we could investigate. Or go for a little swim.
I think it would be better to make sure nothing's going to follow us up.
Quite right, too. Let's see what's ahead.
So retaining your that was a move silently roll, right? Wasn't it, Silasta?
It was a hide originally because of the water, but I can do a move silently.
Okay, yeah, do a move silently as well, just in case. Because 38's mad.
Ooh, 24.
Ooh, okay, all right. There's sort of like sediment on the floor. Like 24 is still nothing to be sniffed at. Like that's mad. Even when you're doing something not particularly well, it's still better than what most people could manage in their whole lives. You stealthily move your way through this sort, like I said, this sort of like sediment, like grey, sandy kind of material, or rather substance on the ground. Occasionally you see like rock pools, like I mentioned, of this blood that sort of like line the cave. It is quite a substantial amount of blood. You just see that the passageway continues on, and then eventually, looking around the corner,
It's vampire poo.
it is vampire poo.
I told you. God damn it.
You round the corner, and a rather unsettling sight befalls you, Silaster. You are looking at an underground cave, a cavern that drips with sort of like a humid climate. The obviously stark difference that to usual underground caves is that the fluid within is entirely it's just blood. It is a lake of blood.
Okay, I'm going to do. Do I need to do another hide check just to look around the corner before I go back?
No. You can retain that 38. I think I'm not going to ask you to make another roll. Just like within 2 moments of doing it before.
Okay.
You look around.
I can't see anyone there.
Well, that's not strictly true.
I know. I can imagine. I'm just going to back up a bit then.
You can back up a bit.
You just give us the signal down the when you want us to follow, because you're scouting ahead. Just caw.
So I'm going back and be like,
follow me now.
come on then.
Come on then. Very good.
Car.
Oh, we're in the same square, Ansel.
Oh dear.
We're having a cuddle.
Blood.
It is a lot of blood. There is as I mentioned, you aren't alone. For there appears to be a number of figures that just are awash in this lake of blood, face down in it, floating there. You see dozens and dozens of bodies, some of them washed up against this underground beach almost. Some of them pile high on rocks in the far corners. There is a single passage that leads out to lonely islands of rock that look slick with viscera.
Not my ideal holiday destination.
Well, I'm going to drop into Child of Shadow.
I'm going to build a little sand castle. A little disgusting.
Bloody sand.
Obsidian, give me a mortician roll, please.
Yes, I'd love to.
With your profession.
What is your profession?
Oh! It's 29.
Bless you. Is 29 fantastic?
Yeah, roll 19. Very happy.
Yeah, very great. You like you
hyper
say,
alert with all this blood.
You run your hands with those talons upon your black gloves through this sand. Sediment, as I described it before. You see that the pieces of it are almost a little bit too big to be sand. You realise that actually what you're standing upon is finely ground bone.
Well, this is lovely. Just lovely.
Did wonder.
Let's make bone angels.
Roll the bone angels.
Bone those angels. Obsidian, can you tell if those bodies are what's the word for dead and
still dead?
Not, properly
Yeah.
dead.
I will cast Detect Undead.
Okay. What is the range?
It functions exactly in the same way as Detect Magic. It
60 feet then.
Detect Undead. I believe 60 feet sounds about right.
Yeah, that does sound about right. It sounds the same as Ansel's Detect Magic position.
Let's just open it just in case. 60 feet cone-shaped emanation. It gives me an idea of how strong the undead creature is if I concentrate for 3 rounds. But yeah, basically it will just tell me if any of this is undead. Also, I'd like to have just a bit of a look as we go past any of the bodies. What sort of condition they're in? Any of the bodies that we walk past. See if any of them are mildly salvageable for my own purposes.
We'll keep the was that 29 was your, which one was your mortician's roll? That was the
29 was my mortician.
I'm not going to make you roll again because I'm just asked you to roll the same thing again. So there's no point. You got a really good score, so you'll be able to use that with just this environment. You're looking at the bodies, and you would just know that some of these have been here for a long time. Like, you see that there has been like considerable decay, particularly on the bodies that line the beach that you're standing on. Others that you can sort of glimpse in the gloom look a bit more bloated from being in the the lake of blood. It's pretty grim. This should come with a warning. This session should probably come with a warning. It's distressing to say the very least. But you note that the further out they get, the fresher they appear. Oddly. You do not detect any undead within 60 feet.
Right. I'm going to start walking across the bridge.
Just as a point, chaps, I am after a couple, 2 or 3 bodies, medium-sized corpses that are in fair condition, slightly used, secondhand. I'm going to create a couple of fighters for us. Useful fighters, useful little helpers.
Okay.
I can create better than zombies and skeletons now.
Can they be?
They can be pretty damn soiled, actually. They can be a total mess, because what I'm going to create is going to be pretty horrible. Anyway.
There's a whole pile in that corner.
Yeah.
There is
but I'm thinking that if we can take a couple and put them in the bag of holding, I know that's disgusting, but the spell takes an hour to cast, so...
Can I just pause you for saying Silaster was walking across the bridge, got to the end of the bridge and has frozen, because I imagine something is going to...
You stuck under it?
No. For Rob's benefit.
He's...
I've seen something in the distance, and whether I need to do a roll or something for it.
You don't need to do a roll, because you get to the end of the bridge there. I will ask that you don't move yourself any further, though, because, yes, there are other things I will ask of you. You sort of see that this lake kind of like goes round like a corner in the cave. This lake goes round like a corner in the cave.
Dog leg.
Yeah, kind of. And okay, is that like a real name for a cave, or is that just what it looks like to you?
No, that's a golf. It's a golf term when something dog legs off to the left.
Oh, I didn't know that. Right. Okay, cool. I just thought, okay, fair enough. I learned something today. Thank you. Yeah, you do see that there appears to be a stone like jetty almost. Like a loading port on the other side of this lake of blood. There is a jetty that juts out into the lake, where this like row of walkways that you're going across will eventually meet. There are 2 hooded figures in the far distance as well, and they don't appear to have reacted to you coming around that corner, but there we are.
Interesting.
Do the robes
should
look
we come
familiar?
across the bridge?
Well, only Silaster can see them, but if you're wondering that, Silaster, they probably do look a little familiar. They look like the robes that you saw people wearing in that that little promotional material that Derek Redhaven treated to you the night before. These appear to be these the same cultists, the Light Breakers, that you have been entangled with since your days in Valdenor.
Well, I mean, Silaster did drop into the Shard of Shadows, so he's a bit of a blur at the moment anyway, but...
Yeah, that makes you invisible, right? Or just shadowy? I can't remember.
If I move, I've got like a shadow about me, so I get a mischance.
That's fair.
I'm going to silently move away.
Okay, you silently move away.
He's not in my...
Under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
Well,
Why are you walking through the blood, you psychopath? Why are you wading?
there are people.
Cultists or
Okay.
people? Real people?
Cultists.
Nice villagers, maybe?
No, nasty red clothing.
Okay.
Blood sucking, I don't know.
If we can take one alive, that would be very useful.
With great big pointy teeth. Okay, but if either of them get away at this point, it'd be a perfect little warning system, wouldn't it, for anybody that we're coming? So we need to somehow get in there and take them out quick. Come on.
Yeah? Agreed.
What is the best way to do that? I wonder.
I can get
I wonder.
pretty much right up next to them, but that's it.
Can you block off any exit so they can't get through any exit?
Yeah, I can manage that.
That might be the best. Stop them from retreating, and we can't control magic if they have a magical means of warning, but we can at least prevent a physical alarm.
Well,
Just having a look at what I can do to help.
I just for curiosity's sake, this conversation that you're having, are you still talking to Silaster? Because I need to wonder if those people will need to start making listen checks. Are you talking to him as if he is halfway across that bridge, or Silaster, did you make it all the way back? Because I need to know what volume levels we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I don't think we would be shouting across to him.
no,
Okay.
because Silaster was other people that I think Silaster would have gone back over quietly.
Okay, that's
to
fine.
finish.
I just didn't want. Yeah, that's fine. Just because they haven't done checks yet, but only because of the distance at the moment. A bit. If you were like talking as if I had to speak to you like you were over there, then it might have to be a bit different. But just checking. Yeah. So, what is it you wish to do then? What's your plan of moving forward?
If I can get to here and stay hidden, I can pretty much get right next to them, and then that'll probably trigger initiative. But it keeps me, in theory, attempt to slow them down, shall we say.
I can summon a vampire spawn somewhere over here with you
A
that can
vampire?
turn gaseous and sort of drift in and then materialize with you so it can attack over there at the same time. It'll be a relatively powerful one because they get boosts from me. Or Or I can summon a shadow, which is like a ghost. Which is not easy to spot because it's incorporeal. And that can move pretty quickly and get over there with you as well.
I mean, I know Ansel, you could get over there in about a turn. Maybe 2 if you ran and moved.
I can certainly move at 30 feet and then teleport at a further 45, so you can get a decent
45?
distance at least.
Is it 5 foot per level?
It's...
Oh, cast.
Yes, and it's divided by 2, I think, as well.
Okay.
Plus, so it's 25 feet plus my level divided by 2. Caster level divided by 2.
Apologies, I forgot you've done fun things. Okay.
So what's the plan?
I can charge over, which will throw us into initiative, I guess. Obsidian, do you want to send anything over? Summon anything?
I don't really know what the best thing to do is because I can't get over them. I'm not particularly quick and I'm not very sneaky. So if you're teleporting over there, Ansel, if you could take me with you, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I can bring
In
you
which
with
case,
me.
then I won't need to summon anything. I can just appear over there and fuck them up.
Well, I can bring you 45 feet of the way.
The thing is, though, are they vampires?
Don't know.
That is the question. We sort of need to know if they are vampires.
Okay, right. I'll go over.
Hang on 1 second. I'm just wondering. Now that I'm level 12, with the deliver touch spells, master spell resistance, speak with animals, I'm just wondering if my familiar can cast any of my spells, but then I don't think he'd need to, actually. If I was to send Trick over there, invisible, he can use Detect Magic and Detect Good. I think Detect Magic should be able to figure out if they're vampires or not, because it'll detect some sort of necromancy about them, right? Some sort of necromantic aura. I'm just wondering if I can cast a spell through him. He can deliver touch spells, but I don't know about Speak with Master now. Spell resistance. As if he's got spell resistance. I didn't even realise. Empathic link, deliver touch spells, share spells, but then that's boost spells. I don't think he can do any like my spells, which is a shame. I was wondering if he could, but I know he can do detect undead. He can do detect good. He can't do detect undead. He can do detect magic. Damn. I just can't figure out how to figure out whether they're undead or not. Just because preparation, and always in these situations, preparation is key. And if they're alive, it's a very different fight than if they're vampires. How do we figure that out?
What's your range on Detect Undead, sorry?
60 feet, I think.
Do you think you could get within 60 feet?
Not, I don't think, without them spotting me. Probably not.
Roughly about the...
Do you have any...
You need to get on the bridge.
Yeah, I don't know what to suggest these boys, to be honest. This is the predicament.
I mean, how much preparation do you need for this in terms of if they're undead or not? There's 2 of them.
if they're undead, if they're vampires, I think they're probably vampire spawn, which actually I stand a much better chance of being able to turn vampire spawn than I used to, given my level, given certain items. So I would appear and then do a turn on them, a rebuke, sorry, not a turn, rebuke. If they're not undead, I would appear and do some sort of negative energy burst to weaken them before you guys do your thing. I reckon it's just going to be a case of Silaster, you've got to go and start the fight, and then we'll teleport in after the first attack, so that at least then we know what they are.
I can attempt to slow them down for your advance.
Okay.
At least then you can go from there. I'm going to go back to this spot on the bridge. Do I need to do another move silently and hide?
You will now that you are going back over, that's right.
So move silently is 29, and hide is 43. Bloody
Jesus.
hell. Practically lying down. Just...
there is just like a quiet. It's like the wood doesn't even bow as you're stepping on this rather rickety bridge. This rather rickety
Silaster
walkway.
just turns himself red, so he just blends in. He just thinks of a really embarrassing memory. just blends in with the red. Dude, 43. That's amazing.
Yep. So sorry. The 29 was the which one was the hide and which one was the move silently?
Move silently was 29. Hide was 43.
I mean. They appear to be locked in conversation with the other.
Can I teleport to the island? Because then that would be silent. So I just have to hide.
You can teleport to the island, certainly. Yep.
And bring obsidian and presumably.
Yes. On doing that, you'll need to do a hide check for me as you land, but that's fine.
I may respond soon after. We shall see.
17 for hide.
That's good. Obsidian, you're going with the teleport, is that right?
Yeah.
Give me a hide as well, please.
Oh dear. This is where I let the side down, guys, because I'm not the sort of person that hides. I'm the sort of person that shows myself. Yeah, thought so. That's a 6.
Can you each give me a spot check, please?
Is this to spot if we've been spotted?
That's a 20.
18.
9.
Obsidian and Silaster, you're relieved because you're looking at the two cultists of the Lightbreakers, and so you're sort of like, I don't know, you're not able to tell.
I think he's trying to figure out the distance to the jitty bit.
Yeah.
So that he can work out if he can teleport.
Yeah, you two, however, are looking, you're like, wow, they didn't even respond to that, and Obsidian really probably should have been spotted from at that point. But the 20 and an 18 is really good to notice something else as well. It's very good to notice that there is seemingly a large amount of bubbles beginning to ripple through the blood beneath the bridge.
Damn.
There is a sudden blast of viscera that erupts upwards into the air directly next to you. A wave of blood just covers the three of you as you stand there.
We're covered in blood again. Fuck's sake. My leathers are
always covered in fucking...
Obsidian's leather outfit is just fuck.
A huge
destroy.
rusted, blood-covered automaton rises from the depths. It has massive spikes protruding from its back, and from those spikes hang a collection of many different cadavers. It is at this point that I ask you each to roll initiative.
Love to.
14.
Oh,
very average for me. 19.
That's 5.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Rob's rolled a natural 20, I think.
I don't know. Do I want to use my inspiration?
You rolled a critical fail, Matthew.
Yeah, come on.
I don't want to go dead
You
last
can't
in the
use
round.
inspiration
definitely.
on critical failures.
You can't use inspiration on critical failures.
No.
I think you can.
No.
Since when was that a rule?
Well,
It's the
inspiration
perfect
isn't
time
a
to use
rule.
inspiration.
Well, I don't think it is. I think that's quite a sensible rule,
It
actually.
is initiative.
It's one of the few times I roll a natural 20. When can I use my inspiration? Why are we imposing rules on inspiration now? I thought it was any time you roll a natural 20.
Okay, you
Anytime
can.
you roll a d20, sorry.
Yeah, we did say anytime you roll a d20. Okay, you can reroll.
I don't know. I was trying to decide whether I want to. No, go on. It's
just
fine.
wants the option.
I'll keep it in case I need it for a save.
That's fair enough. I did say
just
whenever
go.
we roll a d20, you're absolutely
Dead
right.
last
So,
in the round.
sorry. So it was Silas, you got 19.
Yes.
Ansel was 14.
14, yeah.
Okay. I just need to look something up, actually, so bear with me 1 second. Yes, for those of you watching live, you will note that we were discussing inspiration. That does mean that if you've been watching us, you earn boons with your viewer rewards, and you can spend those boons to... you... I always mix it up. You earn bones, and you spend them on boons. It's something that I came up with. I can't remember the order. But with boons, you can use your boons to buy... inspiration for the players and ruination for me. Did I get it wrong again?
You did. You said you can use your boons. No, you can use your bones. You earn bones to buy boons.
Okay, right.
Roll your boons.
So, yes, and that also does mean that you can reward the DM ruination as well. So, without further ado...
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I've already got ruination from last session, which we are carrying over because
because he spent a lot on it.
Redhaven spent a significant amount on us, so we honour that. Absolutely, as Michael predicted, the cadaver collector goes first. This vast automaton that rises out of this blood lake, just this blood just rolling off it. How many times will I say blood this session? My God. It goes first, and it will initiate its opening gambit. I need all of you, please, to make a reflex saving throw. DC 20.
Oh, it's never good when he tells you what the DC is.
28.
quickly see what my saves are. For some reason.
18.
How's that spreadsheet working out for you now, Dom?
It's fine. It starts to work. I'm assuming it's a physical effect, not a magical effect.
Yeah, it is not
Doesn't
going
matter.
to be.
24.
You, Ansel and Silastra are able to hurl themselves out of the way, negating this effect. Obsidian, I need you to make a fortitude saving throw of the same amount, please.
Okay. Is it sleep, stun, paralysis, poison, or disease?
What if it is? You get a bonus.
Then I get.
You get a bonus to this.
Bonus.
Yep, you get the bonus.
I have a boner. Of +2. 22.
22, you pass. You feel this terrifying feeling sort of like eke into you. This thing rises up, as I said, and there's just this blast of horrific green-grey steam that it bursts out in a 30-foot cone, covers the area. Silastra and Ansel, you're able to like hit the deck and evade it. Obsidian, you get hit by it, but you're able to resist it. What thought or what notion gives you the strength to resist this thing as it tries to eat away at you?
I think it's just he's gaining in confidence in his own abilities with undeath surrounded by blood and bodies and all of that, and he's starting to believe that he can become the master of this dominion. He can become more powerful than things that are in it. So he just sort of has sureness in himself and withstands it.
Very good. It will use its movement now, and it walks through the bridge, collapsing it.
Lovely.
And moves to arrive there. That is its turn. Silastra.
I mean, it's there, but I'm also concerned.
Hang on a minute. Silastra and I are in the same square.
Yeah, once again sharing a square for some reason.
Yeah, we can't do that. That's not allowed. So either
we can't do that.
One of us has got to move. And I'm going to be honest with you, Silastra. I feel like it should be me.
I mean, I got over that bridge before you.
Fine. Once again, the
You should be
giant
directly
murderous
behind
creature
me.
has a full round of attack on me
Hold on to
first.
We can do this. We can do this fairly. Roll a d4. 1 and a 2. Silastra is closest. 3 and a 4. Obsidian is closest. I think it's fair. 1 and a 2.
Roll.
1 and a 2. It's Silastra. He's closest. 3 and a 4. Obsidian is the closest. Roll a d4.
You want me to roll?
Silastra, you
2.
are closest.
Wow.
Well, that's okay.
Wow. Oh my god.
And it is your turn.
In my favour that day.
Silastra, what is it that you do?
This thing's here, but the previous objective is still in my head.
Okay.
To which, so Silastra will just utter to the two of you, keep it busy. As...
Okay, sure. Why not?
I would imagine, it doesn't say this provokes attack of opportunities, but it's up to you. I'm going to shadow jaunt away.
It hasn't previously, so I'm not going to start saying it does now, so I'm pretty sure we established it didn't. If that's wrong, then I don't care. Go ahead.
Boom. That puts me there, and then I shadow stride. So one is an action, one is a movement. As I then appear here.
Zoom. You stand amidst two cultists, and as you draw closer, you see that those flowing dark robes, each of them wearing that big that sort of medallion that has like that broken kind of prism symbol upon it. What do you do?
Well, that was a standard action and a move action to get there with 2.
So that's you, yeah.
But I'm ready for them next turn.
Perfect. So you just just hop, skip, and a jump across the lake of blood and the battlefield. Very good. That is Silas's turn. Ansel, this thing bears over you and Obsidian and the Shade. And Trick, what do you do?
Yes.
Ansel, if you would
So
allow
because
me,
the
I
shade
can...
is right there. Go on.
Only because the way the turns go, if you would allow me to do a thing, I can slow it down so we can focus on the cultists and stop them getting away first and nullify this thing somewhat.
So are you communicating that to me?
Yeah, basically.
With a wait or something, I'll delay until...
With a sort of hold. So essentially, I don't know if I go next, actually. I don't know why I'm just assuming.
You won't go next, unfortunately. So, Ansel, if I'm not mistaken, then you're going to delay until after Obsidian.
Yeah.
Okay, that permanently puts you at the bottom of the initiative, then, just so you're aware.
I apologise for that,
Yeah,
but it will be worth it.
Okay, so Ansel is now there. Cool. Okay, the two cultists that are on either side of you, Silaster, will act. And they are sort of like, definitely like taken aback by you just like appearing and then rushing towards them. But they do have enough presence of mind to immediately act. One of them is going to try and grab hold of you with a touch attack. So can you tell me your touch armor class, please, Silaster?
23.
Reaches out to try and grab you. What do you do to prevent him from touching you as he tries to grab you with a shocking grasp? Sparks fly.
You know, there's still kind of like a lingering after image from how I just teleported in, so he's just kind of struck through, but it's not actually me, it's just that lingering image of me as I'm still kind of recoiling from the landing, so to speak.
Okay, and another one next to you will open his mouth to speak, but a familiar voice sort of like comes from a stranger's mouth, weirdly. It will say... seemingly familiar, I should say. It will say... drop. Can you give me a will save, please?
You know what? I don't have that maneuver prepared, so yep, I will give you a will save.
Come on, Silas, we believe in you.
30.
Fuck yeah, you will.
Some presence or other sort of like comes across the person for a moment that's talking to you, as if he's speaking with a voice that is not his own. This figure's trying to make you, is trying to command you, shall we say. But what amazing thing in Silaster's mind or in your battle focus prevents you from succumbing to that?
As soon as the word comes to me, Silas, again, there's this instinct whenever he tries to focus on just natural kind of countering and defense, his mind just lingers back to his elven home, to that giant crystal obelisk that lingers in the center, and he uses that, and he just imagines that it just shoots from the ground, mentally shielding him in front, like a crystal shield blocking the spell-like command.
Amazing. That was their turn. Obsidian, it is now your turn.
Okay, so my turn is going to be a bit odd because I'm going to move and then ready a spell.
Okay.
So I do 1, 2, 3, remember there. So if I run away to here, and then I ready a spell, which will be an instant cast when a thing goes off. So I just say to Ansel, get clear, which basically means get as far back as I am. Now, and as soon as Ansel is as clear as possible, my spell will go off.
To disengage, you need to do nothing but move out of the way. Otherwise, it will provoke an attack of opportunity. It's do nothing.
Where was I?
So you are provoking attack of opportunity because you are still going away and doing something. Even though you haven't cast a spell yet, you are still doing something else. So that will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, so I will provoke an attack of opportunity with the movement, I'm not casting a spell yet, so it can't disrupt the spell. But
so what is your armor class?
Smack me. Armor class is 19? 19? Oh, yes, 19. So I got the natural armor thing as well. I've had a boost.
So that is a hit. He is going to slam you.
Doesn't matter. Ow.
Which, let me just quickly have a look. Slam. Let's see. Whoa! This huge thing swings its metal fist down upon you. It has this sort of like odd... It's made of this very strange metal. We'll have to see if you know what kind of metal it is. But first...
Something nasty. This way comes.
...21 points of bludgeoning damage.
Fuck.
And as he has landed an attack on you, he automatically gets an attempt to grapple you because he has improved.
Well, then
grab.
I'm grappled, aren't I? Can you do that on an attack of opportunity?
It says that any successful attack enables him to make a grapple attempt. So I think that does, I'm afraid.
Fucking time. I can't get out of this shit. I'm not.
So can you roll a grapple attempt? Do you remember?
I don't think it's possible.
You can use escape artist to try and escape as well if you have a better escape artist.
You can only use escape artist once you've already been grappled. On the initial grapple, you cannot. And it would make no difference. My grapple is one more.
Please make a grapple attempt then, please.
It's absolutely not possible. I would have to roll a natural 20, and even then, I don't.
Have you rolled it?
Yes, 12.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Ansel. I made you go around later and fucking ruined everything because I thought I was out of range.
I'm sorry, man. This is its whole thing is to try and hit you and grab you. This is what it does. So you have rushed away, and it slams hold around you, and then grabs hold of you, and it successfully grapples you. Okay. Anything else on you've moved, you can still do something, you are just grappled. So
you can still prepare
you still have your standard action. Yes.
Yeah, I don't really have any spells that will work on this thing apart from that one I was going to do, and we can't be in it when I cast it.
Oh.
You might not be in it when you cast it in a second, because it's my turn next.
Is there anything you would do?
Then.
So
go
you're
on then.
Still going
I'm just gonna let's have some anarchy.
Okay. So what does that mean? You're holding now?
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that's about right.
Okay.
Centered on you, sir. That's actually a tiny bit small, but it doesn't matter. Pretty much covers 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me try one more time and I'll delete the other one because that isn't quite right. It's bigger. It's like that.
So if you're casting the spell whilst he's grappled you...
I don't know what the concentration check is to cast while grappled.
Let me bring that up quickly. So casting in a grapple... Just so we're doing it by the book. Right. I'm not going to say do you need to use hand movements because it's so big it's just grabbed you around you, not holding your arms or anything. Weirdly, doesn't come up on my initial thing there, so let's just say that it'll just be... grappled or pinned. The only spells you can cast while grappling or pinned are those without semantic components.
Well, then I do nothing.
But I did say no, because your hands will be free, like I said, so you'll be able to still cast. But it still is a concentration check, so DC 20 plus the level of the spell you're casting.
Ooh, DC
Which
20
is doable, I think, for you. So DC, what is the level of the spell?
6.
Okay, so DC 26 concentration.
Oh.
I need to roll more than 10.
Okay.
I will use my inspiration
Okay.
and roll exactly
Oh!
number. I waste the spell. This is going really well.
Oh my god! Oh dear, you go. You you reach out to try and perform the spell, but the sheer trauma of the incident, you just can't quite get the spell going. So unfortunately, we are going to have to get rid of that. Thank you. That is your turn, Obsidian. Ansel.
So I would like to attempt to. I don't know if it's how plausible it is, but I want to flee the scene. I want to grab Obsidian and use my flee the scene ability to teleport us away.
Okay then, so you just need to grab hold of him to do that, right? And
yeah, presumably he needs to be willing as well.
Well, yeah, of course, I'm sure he will be willing, but I'm just wondering. I mean, he's being held by something, but I don't suppose that would really. Okay. Yeah, let's just say then you need to get you just need to touch Obsidian, let's just say. So if you can make a touch attack for me, please, and if you hit Obsidian's touch armor class, you will be able to touch him whilst in the grasp of the collector.
15.
My touch armor class is 14.
Great. So you grab hold of Obsidian. You are able to teleport away with him. Where do you go?
Cool. So I can teleport to this little jitty here.
Yes.
And I'll leave the shade behind.
Yep. So we'll move Obsidian over there as well. There you go.
Thank you.
So zoom, from the grass.
I apologise for fucking up the rounds. I will try and do it again a bit. Wasted one spell.
Not a problem.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
And as a... I've forgotten what sort of action is. A speedy action, what's that called? A swift action.
Swift action, yeah.
I'll try and curse the automaton.
Okay.
DC 19 will save.
DC 19.
-2, because the shade is still there.
Your curse isn't subject to spell resistance, is it? As I recall.
That is a good question.
We've spoken about this before. I remember.
It's supernatural ability, so I can't remember if they are affected.
So, spell-like abilities and spells, anything that, well.
Yes, it's not subject to spell resistance.
That's right, yeah.
Supernatural
because it's supernatural, that's right. So in that case, he will try and make the save. It was DC 19, did you say, on the will save?
It was, yeah, and he's -2 because of the shade.
He is -2, however, he still surpasses that, unfortunately. Very good roll on his part. Powers through. These great pistons begin rising up and down on its back as it begins to sort of like wheel around towards you. What else do you do on your turn? Teleport, curse.
I could move, but I don't think that's a good idea at this point. No, I'll stay where I am. Actually, no, I will move because Obsidian may want to do something that involves me not being close. So
yeah, where do you move? Where do you
possible.
move to then? In that case,
5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Yeah, go to there.
Okay, so you rush up there, then we're back to the top of the round. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. It can get to you, I'm afraid, Obsidian, still. It begins wading through the blood towards you.
Another one of those situations, guys, where I can't get away from this because every time it hits me, it can grapple and it can move a lot faster than I can. So there's nothing I can do.
It has a movement of, and by the way, I'm happy for you to look at the stats afterwards. I promise you, I'm not making any of this up. It does move.
You're making it up. Nonetheless, I am locked in a losing battle because I can't hurt it. I can't do anything to it. It's immune to everything I've got, apart from one thing that would destroy both of us.
I'm going to ask
So
you...
I moved 45 feet away from it, though, so it shouldn't have been able to catch up again, should it?
Well, you didn't, because, let's see. He was in these 4 squares here.
Yeah.
You did move 45 feet
10,
away, but it's
15,
got reach.
20, 25, 30, 35, and it can also reach 10 feet.
Yeah, but it's exactly as far away as it was. So that means it's moved more than 35 feet.
You can count the squares if you want.
Because it moved diagonally.
It was...
Okay.
5.
Where was it stood? I don't remember where it stood. There.
Yeah. Do you see where I'm doing it? Unfortunately, my thing's red.
Across. Yeah, that's fine.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35,
yeah,
40.
Okay. Well,
40.
fair enough. I'd hope that had been fair enough, but...
Hey man, it happens, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Are we sure? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Armor class, please.
My armor class is 19.
That is
massively
a
improved.
1. That is a critical failure on the Cadaver Collector's part. So it swings for you, Obsidian, and misses. It charges through the water, and this wave of blood kind of like is going along with it as it moves forward, but it's moved. It went to strike. Can it do anything as a swift? It appears to begin humming, and those pistons on its back begin to move up and down, up and down. Okay. That is its turn. Salaster, it's your turn. You are beset by 2 cultists.
Yes. Now, I've never tried this, so I need your opinion. Non-lethal maneuver. Would there be any issue with doing any of these maneuvers non-lethally?
You're basically like a monk, and a monk can choose whether it's non-lethal or lethal. You're an unarmed specialist. Yeah, sure, I'm going to say you could easily do it non-lethally. That's fine.
Right. Because Ansel did tell me to keep one of them alive.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
So the one closest... This one here... Yeah, I'm still in that, but it's not doing anything. So this one here, I'm going to make an attack as I'm going for a greater insightful chop to the neck to try and knock him out.
Okay, right. So you can make that attack. Roll it up.
It is 24 to hit.
That's an easy strike against the cultist there.
Excellent. This was, as I said, a greater insightful chop, a greater insightful strike. So it is.
Right.
Oh, that's low. 37 points of non-lethal damage. As I just... Oh! Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't double the 18. So that's actually 55. 55 points of non-lethal damage.
I mean, Ansel did say take him alive. You have absolutely, just brained the guy. 55 points of damage is insane. Whether he ever wakes up, this will remain to be seen as you absolutely belt him, chopping him really hard on the side of the neck to the point that he loses consciousness for an indefinite amount of time. He collapses to the ground.
I knew the exact. That's why it's greater insightful. I knew the exact point to chop.
Oh my word! Yeah, he collapses and hits the deck and slams into one of those big crates there and is motionless.
Dom, are you okay? You've been coming in and out.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dom come back. Oh, there he is. Yeah, hello.
It just needed confronting.
Yes, I knocked one of them out for you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
He's, for lack of a better description, he's in a coma. So
55 points of non-lethal damage is just madness. But yeah, you do that. You smack him to the ground. Anything else on your turn, Silaster?
No, I want to stay next to this one in case he runs away.
Okay, cool. Alright, that is Silaster's turn. It is the other cultist who is going to look at you in horror as you've just like belted this guy. Do you remember when in Batman versus Superman, when Batman hits that guy so hard that his head just is like magnetized to the floor, like he snaps him down that hard, like it's like BAM! And so this cultist sees that happen and is like, oh my god! And like out of just sheer desperation,
everyone claims it's non-lethal, but it's definitely lethal.
It's like he's probably dead.
But it's non-lethal.
He's never going to be the same ever again. But he panics and goes "Ah!" and like reaches out to try and touch you again. Unfortunately. Touch armor class, please, Silaster.
23.
That is a hit. That's a 19 on the die. I shit you not. He grabs hold of you. Please make a fortitude saving throw. DC 15.
You know what? I will use my mind over body, because that I did prepare.
Okay.
So 22.
He hits you with touch fatigue, but you resist. With your mind over body, that would have robbed you of some strength and dexterity with negative energy, but you resist. Very good. He will remain where he is, I think. Oh, no. No, he is going to run. He will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Let him move. Because
5,
something
10,
fun will
15,
happen.
20, 25, 30. Yeah, he gets to there.
I use my counter, mirrored pursuit. He looks back and I'm not there. He turns to face the stairs and I'm in front of him.
Oh no! He looks in horror. That's so cool.
You think you can escape me?
That is his. That's his turn. Obsidian, it is your turn. The cadaver collector looms over you, and you can see it's just smashing through the pier towards you to reach you. You are in its threat range. What do you do?
If I do a 5-foot step back, will I be out of its threat range?
You will.
Do a 5-foot step.
Very good, yes.
Which at least means that I've done a move and I'm now out of its threat range.
Yep, so he can't attack
you know
opportunity
what?
you for a spell casting from that square, correct?
I'm doing it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. I think that's about right.
Okay.
Except now I can't move the bloody thing. Why can't I move it?
Oh, I'm not sure. Let's see if I can do that, mate. Or is it a case
it won't
of you...
let me... Oh, because trick's there? It won't let me select it? I didn't want to draw it at the top.
No, I think you've drawn it on the map. Is it not... Oh no, do I need to select a different layer to...
I can't move it, and I can't delete it. It was drawn on,
and I've now moved the map. What's going on?
Are you able to zoom in, like, next to it, and then grab it that way?
Can I? What layer do I
yes.
have to be on though to grab it? It must be objects, right? Oh, there you go.
I've got it.
Okay, nice. Panic, because we can't move it. Yeah. So you are successful in casting this spell. We didn't even learn what it was when you last tried to do it. What is it?
Acid fog. My specialty.
Right.
Because that is effective against it. Definitely. I am in it, unfortunately, but it's it's all I could do. Otherwise, there was no way I was going to get the spell off. So I cast Acid Fog. It will take 5 points of acid damage, which, as it's made of metal, I imagine is is nice, getting in the joints. And it is subject to all the effects of Acid Fog, which means it can only move 5 feet per round. Now, and takes 2d6 points of damage.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Because it isn't subject to spell resistance, is it?
No, it's just the effect of acid, basically, and fog. It's a physical thing, so the magic summons it, but it is a physical thing when it appears. So, no spell resistance.
And
that's why that's why it's literally the only spell I've got that's effective against this thing.
Oh my goodness. No, that's great. I mean, I like that. I just didn't want to suddenly discover something that would then prevent, because I'm wondering why its movement would be prevented as it is a construct. That's my only thought. It's not so much the damage that I'm thinking of, it's the movement.
But its movement is because it acts as solid fog, so essentially it's trying to move through a solid substance.
Okay.
So it slows it to 5 feet.
That's fair enough. So amazing. The acid just billows around it, and sadly.
But it was 5 points of damage, which I also take, and because it's elemental damage, I don't have spell resistance on it, so I take the lot.
What level of spell is that, by the way?
Ow! 6.
Whoa. Very good.
But
fantastic.
I can get out of it pretty quickly, I think.
Fantastic. Yeah, so he is acid fog. You take the damage. He also takes damage. Eating away at this rather mysterious-looking metal that it appears to be created from. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's me.
Very good. So that is you. We move to Ansel. What is it that you do?
So Ansel's going to move to the edge of the fog, reach in, grab obsidian, and teleport again.
Very nice, thank you.
Okay, so you can, because of your elongated hands. Can you see him to do so? Because acid fog obscures your vision, as we have just said. So, please give me a spot check.
Ansel has detect magic.
I don't think you can see me from there. You have to be in the square next to me to see me. So you won't.
If I can't see you from there, I presumably can step.
Well, no. If you can't see me, essentially, you can reach into the square that you knew I was in, because you know I haven't moved. So it'll be as if I'm invisible. So you'll have a 50% miss chance. It'll
16.
Be as if I'm invisible.
I'm going to say you can't see him because of the nature of this. I know I asked you to do a spot check, but what I will say is it will be impossible for you not to see him if you move down the jetty, because both squares will mean that you're within 5 feet of him. So you can do that, but you will take the damage of the acid to step in to grab him. Is that fair? I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair and worth it to do anyway.
You can then grab him.
7
you
acid
take
damage.
7 points of acid damage, but you can then act as you freely were going to and zip away.
You are a legend.
Very good.
We'll teleport as far away from the beast as we can. So
okay.
To 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 40. Right to the edge of the boxes over here.
Okay, yeah, sorry, just to make sure that I've got you on stream as well. Yep, so you're up there and on the harbour there, great. Yeah, so you just vanish and you appear out of this acid fog, you just look ominously at this green cloud that's blossoming over this blood-red lake. But yeah, fantastic work. Really good work, Ansel. We're back to the top of the round. You hear
Thank you.
Absolutely deafening crunch as this bridge collapses as it passes through with its 5 feet. Boom. That's its turn. Silaster.
Very much looked like 10 feet.
Did it?
That was 10 feet.
5 feet. Apologies.
That's 5 feet.
Silaster.
A DM's 5 feet. Well, this is a new maneuver, so let's see if it works or not. I need to make a touch attack.
Okay.
My mind, we've saved one. I'll get rid of the other one. So touch is a natural. I definitely touch this guy.
Yep,
That's a shame. This super touch.
Seize hold of him. What do you do?
Right. You know when you've seen like clips or in a game where someone attempts to throw someone by essentially flipping over them, and as they land, they use the momentum to then flip them over their shoulders.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That's what I'm about to attempt to do.
Okay.
We can do an opposed dexterity or strength roll. His choice. I'm going to use dexterity.
He will also use dexterity.
This is such a video game move.
Natural success.
I love it.
Especially with that.
Oh, mate.
Right.
This maneuver is called ballista throw. I throw him 60 feet.
Where are you throwing him?
What?
It's
How far?
60 feet.
60?
That's not a throw. That's a launching.
Are you a
You've launched him into the stratosphere.
Dude,
oh my god.
how the fuck did you throw someone 60 feet?
That's the maneuver.
That's
He also
insane. Telekinesis. In real life, I couldn't throw someone 3 feet. That's crazy.
He also takes 26 points of damage from the impact, is prone, and is now in a fog.
He takes 6 points of damage from the acid as he enters the fog.
He is killed and eaten away by the acid shortly afterwards from the impact. As he is thrown, the last thing he sees is just this fog just eclipse him, and then BAM! Slams hard into the jetty, and then eaten away by the acid.
Do you think Obsidian and Ansel are just looking at you like...
That's probably one of the most horrendous deaths to imagine, I think, actually. Oh god, just thrown like you're nothing. He disappears into the acid, and you just hear a crunch. That's all you hear from him. Anything else on your turn, dare I ask?
Nope, that's it.
Very good.
I fell.
The cultists have been dealt with. All that remains as a threat to you here currently is the Cadaver Collector, but it is not its turn. Obsidian, it is your turn to act.
Oh, well. I will cast I'm gonna get my spell levels. Second level would be inflict moderate wounds.
Yes.
So I cast an inflict moderate wounds upon myself. Inflict moderate wounds is 2d8 plus 1 per caster level, maximum 10, so 2d8 plus 10. Only 14, but that's some health back. And then move to... where was I? What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll just move over here to Silaster, because he can protect me.
Very good.
I'm going to be far away from that Cadaver Collector when it gets free.
That is Obsidian. Ansel.
I see that there's a very unconscious cultist at my feet. Can I use Mask of Flesh to steal his face?
You absolutely can do so. You do that. As it was a bit of a surprise last session, so as we see you take your time on this one, perhaps, what is the procedure like? What is Ansel doing to make this happen?
So I think it's very much like, when you get a reflection of light and it hits a surface and it sort of goes white. It's like that, so that hits, and then as so he grabs their face first of all, and then at skin contact, that's where the white sort of beam starts, and it goes up his arms, and as it uncovers, his skin changes to the same as his victim, until his whole body has transformed, including the clothes, to the cultist in this case.
Very good, and this transformation continues. Is there anything else you do on your turn?
I'm gonna ask the others, how clever do you think the machine is? Do you think I can command it to return to the blood if you two hide around the corner?
That's risky. I know nothing of constructs and automatons, I'm afraid. Necro, not techno.
Necro, not techno.
I do apologise. I mean, it's worth a try, I suppose. But I wouldn't be confident. Or, it can't follow us. We just go up the stairs. It's too big. We just flee the scene. Because we have like 3 rounds until it gets free of the...
Yeah, it might be able to squeeze through the passageway there.
It might. We'll be long gone by then.
I don't think that's a threat we want. If we've got to come back this way... Actually, we can't come back this way. The bridges have been knocked out. We could, if we have to swim back this way.
Yeah, we've been so covered in blood so many times now. It's like, whatever, I'll swim in blood. Whatever.
And the islands aren't that far apart.
Let's not deal with another one.
Give it a go. Why not? Silastra, can you secret yourself away somewhere that you can strike it if it does come at him? This is happening in between rounds, guys, so we need to...
I was going to say, so let's count. So that is 5, 10, 15, 20. But even there, it still is partially in there, so 25. So we'll say 5 rounds. You have 5 rounds of preparation for when it emerges. And then at the end of that time, it will be back to the top of the round, which is its initiative. So... if you can give me just 5 rounds of like what you would be doing in that period of time, we can move to that.
Can I give it 5 rounds of acid damage?
Thing.
Yeah, please just give him the 5 lots of acid damage, please, and Obsidian.
That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that would be 10d6 then.
Oh, that's not to be sniffed at.
That's 27 acid damage.
Wow.
The amount of ones there.
Yeah, there's a few ones. Never mind.
Well...
Is that when he's there? Because he would still, although he wouldn't necessarily be slowed, because he's mostly out, he would still be taking a bit of acid.
His thing still would be in it, yeah, so he would have to be there to get out, and that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, yeah, so he will take a further display of damage from the start of his turn, which is the 6th round. Then that would be.
So then he'll take another 10.
So roll another for me.
Points
10.
Damage.
There we are. Wow.
Lovely.
There we go.
Almost maxed out the damage there, which was very nice.
Okay, great job. So he is emerging now. This is the question: what kind of ability is Ansel's shape change? Because he is immune to magic, but he's immune to magic in the sense that, like, he's immune to things affecting him. Does he need to make a save, like a disbelieve check or something, as it's illusionary, or what's the deal?
Yeah, there is a save. There's a DC 20 will save you can make.
Okay, then. I think because I really like the idea, but I'd also like it to be fair, what we're going to do, we are going to roll this, okay? As per his stats, he has a +8 to will. So it's not to be sniffed at, but it is quite easy that he could fail as well. So the DC is 20, yes? So 21 to beat it. Agreed. I made the mistake of rolling on this one. It's going to be 4,000 years.
Oh.
That is a failure. However, ruination comes into effect as I spend it and I roll again. Should have done it. Ah! Yes! One lower. Damn it. So ruination is spent and it is to no avail. This thing is convinced that you are one of the cultists. It stomps out of the acid. What do you say? That's it. Well, it's its turn. It will still move. It will move to there.
Oh. Do we need to do high checks or?
Oh yeah, you should probably do high checks.
Out of the way,
yeah.
Dude,
you should do high checks.
I'm up here around the corner. I'm up against the wall.
You've gone up the stairs. That's fine, Obsidian. No problem.
I'm around the corner, up against the wall.
I'm 4 miles away. Yeah. Yeah, Silastic, you'll need to make
not
one.
There.
Yeah, I'm striking. I got my manoeuvres back with a round as well.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
38.
Listen, it actually got it does have really good spot, but I don't know if it'll be able to get that. You know what? Its spot, remarkably, is +15. And its roll is 16. So it is, sadly, just short of your check. But still, it was close. It doesn't see you. Exactly, yeah. Just to point out that these things are pretty powerful in their own way. It bears down upon you, Ansel, but it doesn't attack. But it doesn't appear to be... Well, it moves forward and it stands there. What do you do? Silaster, it's your turn, sorry. That was its turn. It is Silaster's turn, sorry. We're still in initiative. Silaster, what do you do?
Nothing. Because yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'll ready an action, because readying goes to the next round, so I'll ready an action if it attacks Ansel.
Perfect.
Charge in.
Okay, so that is that then. Obsidian, I know you're around the corner, but I still have to ask, do you do anything on your turn in the initiative?
I don't think so. No, I will do nothing.
Okay, Ansel. This thing just looms down upon you, and it has these sort of like great lenses on the front of its demonic-looking head that like pokes out from this huge like shell-like back that it's got. These big spikes coming up over its shoulders. But it's looking at you intently. What do you do? What do you say?
So Ansel will gesture around and go, they have been dealt with. You can return to the blood for the next intruders.
Okay. So, thankfully, this thing understands the Creator's language, and you are speaking it, so that is one thing that we have to check. I need you, please...
Yeah, that's very lucky.
I still need you to roll a bluff. Regardless.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, Ansel. Come on, Ansel.
12.
Okay. That's a 12. Let's see what the...
Actually, can I use my inspiration to re-roll that?
You can use your inspiration to re-roll.
Thank you, Redium.
Thank you, Redium.
Because I can't think of a better time to use Redium's gifts than not to get smashed underneath it.
Yeah, I think that's...
18, much better.
Okay, so its wisdom gives it a plus... 16 is plus 3, isn't it? Yeah. So it has a plus 3 onto its roll. I think it's fair. Let's just roll it. I want to roll it publicly. Just so you know, I'm not trying to ruin it because I like the suggestion. But let's see. So it has to beat an 18. It rolls an 18, but as we say, it didn't surpass it, so that means it will believe you. This great hulking construct stops, and then it sort of like looks around, and it lowers its massive gauntleted hand onto one of the bodies on the ground, and just drags it towards it, and then just hoiks it onto its back and impales it onto the spikes on its back. Great billowing mists of blood like rise up in front of it as it then turns around, Ansel, and begins to stomp away, and gathering corpses as it goes, it then goes back into the blood and disappears. Congratulations, you have outfoxed.
I think even through the illusory mask, the beads of sweat pouring down Ansel's face, and then the exhale of relief as it turns around and walks away.
And as you outfox the cadaver collector, huge congratulations. That was a really interesting and cool way to deal with that situation. Great job. We will now use this opportunity to go on a very quick break. So those of you watching live and after the fact, thank you ever so much for dropping by. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And of course, if you're watching us live on Twitch, give us a follow, hit the bell so you know when we're live, and you can join us and add to the story. Spend those boons that you get from watching it. Bones that you get from watching us on Boons. We should just shorten it to Bones. Just spend the bones. Well, we're still workshopping a lot. But anyway, with all that said, we'll be back very soon. Don't go away.
Spend the boons. Bones.
And we have returned, and the strangers have, after a stressful altercation, have overcome the obstacle, rather cleverly, of the cadaver collector, an automaton devised from the most hellish of minds, designed to scour battlefields and graveyards, picking up the dead and collecting them upon its own back, upon its own spikes. Ansel, you are just seconds from that period of time where you turned and bid the thing that the enemies have been defeated. That bead of sweat still running down your face. What is it that you and Silassa do? Well, what order you do? The battle is over. You are convinced that it is gone at this stage.
We need to tie up this unconscious cultist. I don't suspect he's going to...
What if we put him in the coffin?
I don't think he's going to wake up forever. He's in a permanent coma. He's brain dead.
Yes, the coffin seems like a good idea.
Yeah, you can bundle him into the coffin, certainly. You have odd flashbacks to your time in the convent near the Bright Gate. And you bundle him into the coffin. You do.
As fair play.
Doesn't take a medicine check to see that there is like a huge, like black green welt on the side of his neck where he was mercilessly chopped to the point that it cut off the signals to his brain. So like, just think of like how hard you have to hit him to have knocked him out like that. But my god, yeah, really nasty. But he could potentially wake, but not for a very long time, probably without aid, because that was 55 points of damage.
Can we put some boxes or something on the lid of the...
You can easily secure it. There's
coffin,
in fact there are tools there, so you can hammer it shut if needs be.
Best to bind his hands in case he does wake up.
So does that basically mean that you can just keep his face until
for
he
8
wakes
hours, and then I can come back and do it again?
He will definitely be asleep for 8 hours easily. Like, seriously, at a natural healing rate, right, you get what? Well, I don't actually know with non-lethal damage, but you get your level back every day?
I think it's exactly the same. I don't recall ever reading a rule where your non-lethal damage comes back any quicker than lethal, so I would say he's not resting, he's just unconscious.
In like a week.
And even then, like, he won't be like eating or like drinking, so even if he wakes up, he's just going to be this desiccated, like dehydrated mess of a human being. And Grievous, he pretty much is done for unless he's helped. But yeah, that's you can keep. You can be sure he will live.
He's going to die.
He'll live for those 8 hours, certainly.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Innit? Couldn't give a shit if he's going to die. It's just so long as he doesn't die too soon.
As you bundle him away, you can give me a search check as well if you like, and a spot check actually. A spot check I forgot to ask of you when you entered this area.
So that's a 4 and a 9, so...
Critical for a spot.
Search is 9, spot is 12.
Search is 19, spot is 28.
So the spot was actually a DC of 25, so it was pretty hard for you to get, so you've smashed that. We'll go with the search check first. You find on this guy, he has 2 scrolls of lightning bolt.
Ooh.
He also has a masterwork kukri. And what else has he got? He also has a scroll of disrupt undead, which is a basic spell.
Disrupt undead.
Yeah, it's a ranged touch, and you deal just 1d6 to an enemy undead.
I should have that, I think.
You probably do. Yeah, I think it is necromancy. Yeah, so you can definitely do that. I mean, it's not very powerful, but it can still be helpful.
What level spell is disrupt on?
I think it's either level 1 or 0. Actually, I haven't written it down.
If it's a level 0 spell, I won't have it, but because I don't have any level 0 spells. That's weird. In which case, it's not on my...
Well, I will allow you to use it. It's called Disrupt Undead, and it's from the school Necromancy. I think we can allow you to use it.
It's clearly a necromantic spell.
It is level 0, but I'm not going to lose any sleep at allowing you to use a level 0 spell. You can use that.
Not very much. I'll pop it on my list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. It's actually a ray of positive energy, so you're going to have to handle that with great care, Obsidian. But anyway,
that's going to come back and bite you by the end of the...
And I cast Disrupt Undead. Ow!
It just burns through your hand.
Naught but a stump remains.
Those are the search checks. You gathered that. Sorry, that would be 2 masterwork kukris because the other guy you knocked out as well. That was the equipment among both of them. Now, the 25 spot check, I'm really sorry, but there's just this glint, Silaster. You were the only one that beat the spot check. A glint, and it's at the far end of the cave, and it comes from amidst the pile of bodies, like a ding, like something shiny and glinting on the far end. Maybe to make note of if you come back this way. Or go for it now.
So Lester's like,
or
I can
ignore
make
it.
I don't know if I could get there undetected.
No, it's a bit of a risk, isn't it?
If we come back this way again.
Don't look at me.
The big arrow.
Just to remember.
You know that you are about to go into a sprawling maze of darkness and danger, but it's up to you. If you think you will come back this way, then absolutely, you can make a mental note of it, and I will do my best to remind you if you come back this way.
Can you also remind us of the terrifying automaton?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
lurking in the blood.
yeah, I'll definitely remind you.
Don't know if I believe you. Shall we move on before the being changes its mind?
Yeah, I think we probably should. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why my search was so terrible, because I stayed pretty much up. I was like, yeah, I'm looking.
From here.
I'll look from here. So,
There we are.
Oh my god. This map is huge.
where did we go?
So
To the
bear
right,
with
sort of top right, you
It's
wanna be.
Oh, right,
yeah.
yep,
I
yep.
will. I will focus you in if you aren't able to reach it.
Oh, I got it. So what did we... I'm sorry, where did we... We went up the stairs.
Yeah. So there is
The side of the room.
there is no other. Sorry, so I should say there is no other way. You go up the stairs. It will lead up for a significant amount of time until eventually this narrow staircase merges onto flat floor. There is a. To be honest with you, you can give me a religion check actually. I'm going to try and find it on the stream thing as well. It is a big map, and this was a concern. But we should be all right.
No religion.
There we are.
Did you say a religion?
Yeah, a religion check if you don't mind.
Yes.
Is
15.
Okay, there appears to be this this statue, sort of like gargoyle thing that's like hunched in front of you. As you arrive at the top of the stairs, and it appears to have like this odd glint kind of in its eyes. This is a similar relief or carving to what you have seen previously of the Hunger. Almost gargoyle-like hunched figure at this point, staring at you. Perhaps, Silas, that you get a funny feeling when looking at this thing in particular. There is you're in quite a contained area, a diagonal wall at your back, and a single door to the left. A cold breeze kind of comes from beneath the gap in the door. And I'll find some music to put
do you
on.
want to secrete yourselves in the corners and I'll take a look as I'm disguised?
Yes. That's a very good idea. I am secreted.
I will be next to you and as hidden away against the back as I can.
Yes, I trust your hiding skills. With a corner to work with, I'm sure you can.
I'll be all the way over here so I don't have to hide.
What was your height?
40.
Fucking hell. Rhymes with invisible.
I'm standing next to him. I can't even see him.
Wait, what?
I saw him go there.
You turned, you look back.
Do you guys have any music?
Quarter the count.
Yeah,
Yes.
Spooky music.
Yeah, it's very. It's
but
Hammer horror.
But it's not coming through on mine, which is quite upsetting. Which means
That's
it's
weird.
not coming through on the stream, which is rather annoying. But never mind. It did that last week as well. For some reason, now it just decides not to play music. Oh, there we go.
That's very strange.
How weird.
There we go.
Yeah, I can hear it on the stream now, mate.
Yeah. Ansel, you open this door, and within you are standing in an archive of some kind of library. There are a number of tables that have strange magical glyphs carved into them. You can see that they've been decorated with blood and emanate a strange light. Candles light this rather eerie locale. There is a doorway further down, doorway to the right, and one you can glimpse around the corner over a waist-height level of books there. What do you do?
I just thought that Obsidian could have worn the actual cloak from one of the cultists.
Yeah, but that would be like thinking ahead, wouldn't it? Well, I think one of the other cultists got thrown into the acid.
He doesn't exist.
No, he landed on the bridge.
We could have just stolen the clothes from the one you were imitating.
Up to you. You could have done that, I don't mind saying. As we're this early in, you've just come up the staircase. If that's the case, if you want to be wearing those robes of
Run back
Obsidian,
down the stairs.
you can wear that over your outfit.
Nah, to be honest with you, it's just because like it would be over my outfit. It wouldn't do much good because you'd still see my mask because I get a bunch of stat boosts from everything I'm wearing. So I think I'd be better off not doing that. It's a good thought.
This room is clear anyway, so you can.
We have the all clear.
Lots and lots of different books, some ancient. This is a collection of someone that has lived a very long time.
Are we in Derek's personal library? Do we recognise the symbols on the tables?
Give me a knowledge arcana check.
I do have that.
30.
I can't be that.
20.
You can.
Although I do.
Okay, so you can barely believe what you're seeing. Obsidian 30. It was a high DC. But yeah, these are glyphs that have been imbued into the table that allow those that look upon those glyphs to command legend lore as the spell.
Oh, yes!
Wow.
That's wicked. That's very useful, actually.
You know that there is the number of charges that this glyph have is pointed out by the odd circles that run through them. You can see that you have 3 questions per circle.
Wow. Okay. Well, any one of us could do it. Then, in that case, if it's just a thing, it's the power is there. It's just a case of using it. So, you know, I don't know what I would even ask it. I don't know what we need to know at the moment specifically.
We need to know about the Hollow Descent. We need to know about.
But like, what specifically about the Hollow Descent? And I think with legend lore,
You just find out about the thing, don't you?
You do. Well, you find out anything basically that's written about it. So you find basically like all known information. I think. I don't think you just automatically know. It's like you find the legend of it. So like anything that's been written about it or
Yeah,
is known.
that's fine to know, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Would just be a bit vague as to what might just be a mass of information.
Well, that's Rob's problem, not yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Just tell us about the hollow descent. Well, when the planet was first formed...
When I was 3.
Have a seat.
Take your feet up. Let's go.
Yeah, well, it's not like I say. Any one of us can do it. If you want to ask. We want to know about the hollow descent. Mr.
Redhaven.
Yeah, we already know about Derek Redhaven, though, don't we?
We know
he's a vampire. He's very old. We want to kill him.
A bit about him, but maybe he's written more about himself and put it in the diary.
Be nice to know if he has any weaknesses.
Garlic.
I think he has weaknesses that are all vampire weaknesses, yeah.
Personal weaknesses.
Being a little bit...
Personal weaknesses. Yeah. Like any particular fears. Really doesn't like spiders.
A spider.
You could always think about the questions you'd like to ask in return if you want to make sure that you get the most out of it, or if you can think of something now, it's entirely up to you.
I'll ask about the Hollow Descent then, if we're...
Very good. So you ask about the Hollow Descent, and you are greeted to a plethora of information comes rolling into your shared consciousness for a moment. It's all like the strangers are united in this vision. You see a great battle, and emerging from the darkness, you see a great dragon. Rising up from this great cavern in the earth. A great battle taking place at this site. The devastation that this battle wrought rent a catastrophic blast through an entire mountain, and the path of the dragon came from the very depths of the earth. So you sort of see the origin of this place. Much later on, you see a figure approaching with a great army. A figure that sort of seems a little bit familiar. It has the sort of like the bearing of a King Vrandon or a King Dectus almost, but much, much longer ago, establishing this as a position where a fortification could be constructed to defend this border from any incursions from the east or the south. Much, much later, you see darkness sweep across the land. You see many great catastrophes occur across the world. Kingdoms begin to shrink in power. The power of great armies is matched by heroes of the Third Era, where it no longer mattered if you had standing armies, because there were these entities that would walk the earth that would just level them. Then there's this odd blip where everything seems to be confused. Up is down, left is right, and the world is changed for better and for worse. Yet still, through all of this, this fortification stands, and then you see a dark figure descend upon it one night. a figure that literally moves through shadow and claims this position of his own, and this fortification grows from a humble keep to a sprawling structure that is that sort of is built around the great hole that goes from the top of the mountain all the way down to the bottom. This fortification is built around that entrance. The whole reasoning for Castle Redhaven's expansion here is to protect the entrance down. You see that this castle is made of, and I mean, looking around even now, even in the position that you're in now, you're looking at the walls, and it contributes to what you're seeing in this vision. The walls, the brick is red, like some powerful blood sorcery was used to augment the building of this place. And then you see Derek, and you see Derek standing off looking into the horizon, and you weirdly, Ansel, see this exact position, and you remember ages back you used your mirror to try and spy on Derek Redhaven, and you remember you couldn't see him because vampires can't be glimpsed through mirrors.
Yes.
You now actually see him standing there in that exact position where he would have been, and he's looking up at the 3 moons of this world, and then you see that there is this great blackness that moves across it. You see that a eclipse is occurring, and the 3 moons align in some fell pattern that just shadows the land. And that's all you see from Legend Lore with Castle Redhaven. Sorry, not Castle Redhaven, Hollow Descent. No, it's not.
But wait, there's more!
There's more. You see, your vision then zooms down through the fortifications, through the darkness, deep down into the Hollow Descent itself. And you might remember that you had already sort of learned about this a little bit, but you remember that there are 5 chambers that are down there. 5 chambers that one must pass through to reach the deepest point of the descent. Now, what is in those chambers is unknown to you, but you know that one of them is known as the Chamber of Blood. One is the Chamber of Rest. Mm-hmm. One is the Chamber of Mirrors.
If one is not the Chamber of Secrets, I'm going to be really pissed off.
One is the Chamber of the Dead. And there's one that you do not know the name of. Thus it is
because of copyright law.
Because of copyright law. Dare I risk the wrath of Rowling? No, there is a secret chamber that you do not know the name of. But you imagine that to be the final chamber, the one that lies at the deepest part of this place. And
we'll call it the secretive chamber.
The secretive chamber, the chamber of unknown knowledge. That is what you learn from that legend lore. I'm sorry if that took ages, but you did ask.
No, that was fascinating.
Indeed, fascinating.
So we've used one of the uses.
Mm-hmm. 8 remain.
Jesus.
Does anybody else want to?
8.
not sure I can take
How many
in
remaining?
all
Sorry,
that
8.
information.
That's why I'm saying if you want to think about it, you can keep
I've
returning.
added it to our document. So.
Yeah, you can return here if needs be. It's entirely up to you. It's how you want to spend your time, really. You are aware also that you are, you don't know where you are in the castle. You don't know what's around the corner. You could have enemies outside one of those doors. You just don't know.
And there's a big open hallway over here. Could be anything over there.
I have a few selfish requests, but this is not the time. Another time.
Very good.
May not be another time, but fair enough.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
If there's something burning...
What about the fugue prism? Like, I did research on the fugue prism before, but limited research. If this is a legend lore, it may be that we can find out everything there is to know about what a fugue prism is, what it does, what it can do, what it can be used for, finally, because we still aren't really sure what it is he's trying to do.
Orchestrate something.
Yeah. So what about that? I'm going to legend lore the fugue prism.
So the legend lore begins to spin, and you see the fugue prism. You actually see this is not the first of its kind to exist, because you remember learning bits and pieces about it in the Liberis Mortis. So this is of a design that has been used before, and like you already know of it, it is a magical item that takes in power and changes it, and it changes that power according to the will of its creator. And the creator of this particular fugue prism is, of course, Derek Redhaven, the Monitor himself. And depending on how long it's been used for and how much power it is exposed to, determines its output. And it would appear that Derek has been using this fugue prism for a very, very long time. The long life of a vampire. So this particular fugue prism, from historical context, would appear to be the strongest that has ever been created. And as to its use, the use that this prism is going to be put to use is, well, it would be unknown if no one has ever written about it. There is only one thing that has been written about it. It's like you're seeing the hastily scrawled writings of someone who has broken thraldom, that has managed to use some device or other to free their mind long enough to record what the prism is used for. I've learned what the master intends with the power of the fugue prism. A fugue prism, no longer, but a fugue moon. And you see blossoming into the sky a black shroud that rises high into the air. The omen is engineered.
So he's going to blot out the sun, so vampires can go on about.
And
he's going to bring on one of the omens.
Well, that's it. You suddenly remember that of the Knights of the Apocalypse, there was war, there was magic, there was fate, and there was shadow. Shadow symbol being that of a great eclipse.
So he wants to bring about one of the omens, which will bring forth the Knights of the Apocalypse.
As soon as those omens, so they say, as soon as the omens begin, that will trigger the coming of the Knights, certainly.
We don't want that.
You suddenly are horrified as well to sort of like, and I don't know whether you picked up on it last time, but when he says it's inevitable, He says either now or in a year.
Oh, yes, he did, didn't he?
Which is a confusing element to that as well, which I will let hang for a moment.
Yeah.
That's all you get from the Fugue Prism.
Or in a year.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
Which is interesting, bearing in mind what we know about Mike's other character, whose name has slipped my...
Runic,
because we don't know when the catastrophic event that is inflicted upon him will happen. So that could be around then, couldn't it? Potentially.
Yeah, who knows? So that's what you get from the Fugue Prism, and it confirms that Darrick is going to use the power of the souls that have been pulled into the Fugue Prism to use as a blanket to shroud the land in darkness and trigger one of the omens. Now that it's laid in front of you, the plan, it just seems perfectly fitting for a vampire to want to do, but the eclipse obviously means much more than just giving him a land in which to walk unaided by the tyranny of the sun. Is there anything else that you ask?
Celeste, anything you can think of?
Well, I know times are pressing, but something is also haunting Silaster's mind. Go on then, let's let us delve deeper into the wraiths of Arvanath.
Ooh.
Okay. You see a great glade. A land of forests and lakes and sweeping mountains. Whether you know it from having been there in Silaster's travels, he is young for an elf, but still, he's an elf. He's 100 and something, right?
104.
Yeah, so he's probably likely have trod the lands of Serador before, the land of the elves, the place where the elves arrived when first they left the Feywild, and before that, Arvanath. They arrived here on great ships, and for generation upon generations, and that's a long time for elves, they lived in glory, and then the Empire arose from first a bright dynasty, almost a utopian-like society, then became corrupted and decadent, and then that fell away in the collapsing of the Empirical, and then the Dominion rose to take its place. The ashes of the fallen Empire coagulating into this corrupt force, governed by terrible and devious minds. And you see that weighs heavily upon the elves, and a war is raged against the Dominion and the elves, and the likes of which has not been seen since the early days. And in that time, hundreds and hundreds of elves are slaughtered in the battle, for while they are peerless warriors, they are still completely outnumbered in the great battles that rage across that land. The glades continue to shrink. Nature is encroached on by industry, and there is a venom, there is a hatred that begins to burn in the hearts of elves that are immortal, and when slain go to that land of Arvanath, the elven halls of the dead, and that hunger, that hatred burns there in death. And it is from death that elves can choose to deny that passageway and return. And it's almost like, looking at this, it's almost like you're kind of like realizing, Silasta, that this, whether wittingly or not, is a path that you've already trod yourself. You can only be a wraith of Arvaneith if you are an elf, and if you have been slain and returned with a purpose of vengeance and a purpose of destruction, and for bringing about the former glories of elvenkind. A particular elf you see standing there, regal, powerful, and commanding the armies of the elves in battle against the Dominion. And at the last moment, this elven warrior holds his blade high and commands his forces to deviate their strike, to hold back, while all of his allies, all of his other elves charge. This elf's forces remain. And because of this, they are the only elves that survive the final battle between them and the Dominion. This is the day that Ectus Saethura became Ectus the Turnblade, for when all other elves struck true, he held back. And because of that, because of a deal that he made with the Dominion, meant that he was saved while all others perished. And it is this particular rage that fuels the fire in the hearts of the Rays of Arvaneith the most. And that is what you see.
There's a shared hatred just simmering away. Salasta's hand just clenching. She's getting a bit tense.
And with
chops the floor.
Dude.
Do you need a hug?
It's fine. I need to know. My knowledge is limited. It is good to learn these things.
Indeed. I think, there's probably more that we can learn, but at the minute we need to keep going.
You can give me a listen check, please, the three of you.
Oh no.
Can we,
have to
though?
wait too long.
21?
5.
5.
12.
Silasta, you suddenly are broken from this vision of the death of your kin, and for a moment you see that hollow mass covering in front of you for a moment, but it disappears in a blast of snowfall. You hear something creaking behind this door that is right next to you, the door that's closest to you.
I snap that way. Ansel's the only one in reach, so I get Ansel's head and just go, like last time. Just.
Ansel is just about sort of looking at you with a sort of look of pity, having just experienced that with you, and then you like grab his head. He's like, my neck. Do you want to hide?
Ah, shit. Dive under this table.
Perfect.
Yep, you can all dive under the table and hide. You can give me hide checks if you
I
like.
dive under that table there. I'm under the table.
I will.
It's going to help because
I'm just going to
I would
go in
dance.
here and shut the door.
19 on my hide!
I will dance off the spider and go above the door. So I'll just walk above the door.
Oh.
Sam Fisher Splinter Cell, like, above it like that. Yeah. You're gonna hate me because that's probably the best high check you've ever made, Obsidian. There is like a silence as like you all like panic and like hurtle into different corners of the room. And so you slam the door. Obsidian, you scurry under the table. Silas just goes. It just goes up, and there's like about like a 30-second pause. And if this was a film, it would just be a shot of the room now seemingly empty with none of you there. And nothing happens. No one comes through the door, which is exactly why I said you'd hate me, because it's a total waste right now. No one appears to come into this room. Silence. You hear another creak, Silaster, coming through the door.
I can't believe no one's coming in. I'm so well hidden. Caca. Caca. Maybe open the door, Silaster, from above.
From above.
Yeah, do it.
So from above. There we go.
Yeah, you do, and you are able to sort of glimpse from your perch that there is sort of quite like a vast room inside. There is a huge map table that displays all of Main Realm from the western coast of Orenthale far, far to the east to the mysterious land of Ascendium. You're muted, Michael, if you said something. Sorry.
I just said I'd pop in, crawling underneath and around.
Yeah, you do so. You note that there is sort of like a circle kind of like globe in the corner. An eerie purple light is being given by these candles that like drip wax. But the globe appears to be spinning slowly and gradually losing momentum as you've entered here.
As if somebody's just spun it. And then left it.
Okay.
There is an open walkway that leads deeper into the archive, it seems.
I am still under the table. I have just crawled to the other end.
Refusing to give up that high
I have
check.
crawled on hands and knees to the other end of the table. No, I'm still under the table.
Can you not move?
Is there anything magical?
No, I
in the
can.
room?
I will. I stand up.
There
brush
is
off my
something very magical in the room, Ansel, and I'm glad you point that out because it's very strange. There appears to be some kind of magic exuding from the candles that give off this strange purple light. And it is a magic that would be likely unfamiliar to most, but it is intimately familiar to you, Ansel. It appears to give off the power that is demonstrated when you put a curse on someone. You specifically.
Oh. So the candles are cursed, or they are cursing?
Looks
Are
like
they
that
emanating, or are they holding?
like that power is being held. It's not like going past them will curse you, but there is sort of like that power within them. Yes, it is very strange. It's almost like their purple light is that
And
of
it
like...
looks like...
Sorry to interrupt. Just to let you know, the light almost sheds the same kind of power as your eldritch energy. It has sort of like a moon-like quality to it.
I think Ansel is fairly entranced by that, so he's going to draw closer and study it, I guess. Like, really.
Yeah, are you going to use anything in particular to do that? Like, is there a particular check you want to make?
If it's a magical device, I could use magic device.
You can give me a magic device. Yeah.
Sweet. $37.
You're not convinced that this is a device as such, but this is some kind of focal point to magic, so I guess it works. You can kind of tell that not only is there this kind of like curse magic to it, but there is almost like a level of like presence within the flame of this thing. There's like a dormant presence within the lights here. And you notice as well that light appears to be emanating from other parts in the around this place. Like, looking through that doorway, you see that there is another gleaming purple candle through there and beyond as well. But they don't seem to, nothing seems to happen as you draw close to them.
Very strange. Would spellcraft be more applicable to what exactly it is? Just trying
to. Let's see. Yes, you can give me. Yeah, you can give me a. You can give me a spellcraft roll.
That's shit. 12.
Yeah, there is something about this. It appears to be some kind of magical creation. It looks like a candle, but you get the feeling that it's something far more than that. But just with that check, unfortunately, you aren't able to determine what it is.
Yeah. I think the others will see Ansel be almost transfixed by the candle and see him walking towards it and say this is familiar to me. Strange.
Does it look like there's an actual flame to it, or is it magical? Yeah.
There's like a flame to it, a purple fire that flickers from its wick.
I mean, Salastas was looking at the globe, but will.
The globe appears to be a normal decorative globe. You notice that if you push it a little bit, you notice that there are some drinks inside.
Ooh.
They look blood red.
Oh.
I don't know what this will do, but Silas is just going to go an attempt on the one in front of him. Just.
Do you want to try blowing it before you touch it?
Not how he rolls.
Do you want to maybe just as a point? No, I'll just touch the fucking evil candle magic
I'll
thing.
Put the candle out like
Can
that.
you give me a reflex saving throw,
Thank you, will save.
please?
Thank you very much. He deserves it.
A reflex saving throw.
I hope he fucking fails.
Okay, you take...
I don't hope he fails. I don't want him to...
half then. Oh no, you won't take any damage. You because you have evasion, don't you? You touch the flame and it's almost like there's like a vroom. You know when suddenly fire is like a spark is meets gas in the air. There's suddenly like a vroom. Like that happens and suddenly like a jet of fire leaps up. And like it's like pushing you back almost, but thankfully because of your evasion you don't take half the damage at all. You don't take any damage, but that weirdly felt like a warning.
Smooth.
Is the candle still burning now?
Still burns brightly. It still flickers. You do notice that pearlescent off purple wax drips down from this thing. You notice that it's slowly starting to cover parts of the floor and big portions of the table that it's been placed upon.
and this does similar magic to what you're used to, but we don't know exactly what the effect is. We can't switch them off. I'm not really sure that we can figure out what these do without putting ourselves in significant danger. Could try and dispel one of them to put it out rather than
the
don't
flame
know if tell us anything
flickers.
like that. Just get rid of it.
We'll look at where they're positioned and what they could be for. Like, there's one through the doorway here as well, right? Oh, there's one over there. And there's another one in the room yonder.
Is there anything special about the area that they illuminate?
Yeah, so I was thinking, like...
Well, you've yet to explore the rest of the area, but they appear to go into many different rooms in this portion of the castle.
Oh, if I stand in the light, do I feel anything like healy about it? Like, I get healed by negative energy, so do I feel anything positive to me? Does it, like...
It's not. You can give me a spellcraft roll as well, though, Obsidian, if you like.
Yes. Well, I wasn't sure because obviously it's more Ansel-oriented magic, but if I recognise it as magic, I'll certainly give it a go.
Yeah, that's why I want you to do it.
Oh, man, not much better. 15.
It's enough for you to know that this looks like the power that Ansel harnesses from wherever he gets it from.
Yeah. And the power you harness,
particularly when he does
things,
his eldritch blast as well, like that kind of.
Not negative energy.
I've got some ranks. I may as well.
It's not negative energy. You know it's not negative because you have a relationship with negative energy. You could tell if it was.
Yeah.
It's not negative energy.
What exactly is it you cast, Ansel? When you cast, what's the sort of the most basic effect of your eldritch blast? What's the sort of core of that magic?
Well, at its core, it's eldritch. It's damaging. It's gets more powerful with the sickle moons. It comes from somewhere else.
May I open the door? Just, I say may. I'm going to open this door.
Yeah, you can open the door if you want to open the door.
Ooh, there's a big altar-like thing through here.
My goodness, you can make a roll plus your level.
22.
22, yeah, you're looking at this and it is unmistakable. This appears to be some facsimile, some almost copy of the bright gate that stands before you. It's like this has been made to try and experiment with how that particular gate's arcane makeup reacts to certain things. You can see that there is like blood stains, or very very old blood stains that would pattern the altar in front of it. There have obviously been many different means to try and trigger some kind of like magical reaction in this place. Ansel, you note that as you move into this room, your arcane vision shows that there is a form of alarm that has been cast upon this area. If you were to approach the gateway, you would pass into that effect, where the purple light is.
Ansel will relay this. Holds out an arm and says, "Don't go closer. It's alarmed."
Can Can you give me a
And this
listen?
is lit by the arcane energy again, is it? The eldritch energy again?
Seems to be similar in a lot of ways, yeah.
Was that a listen?
Listen check, please. It's gonna be,
25.
I beat you, Obsidian.
And so you're mesmerized by this. Somehow, Silasta, with a 25, you hear something through the door that Obsidian is stood next to. And you see Obsidian by the door.
No, for shears.
I didn't hear anything. I said I opened the door because I didn't hear anything.
Wait.
Oh, well, if you open the door, then you open the door. Then, if you honestly said you opened the door, then you would have opened the door.
Well, the thing is, you allowed me a listen check because I'm next to it, and I rolled very badly.
Yeah, you got a 5.
It's only fair that I was going to do it.
Okay.
I was going to, yeah. However, I opened the door, but because you heard something, and then immediately stepped to the side of the door that I've opened and back against the wall.
Okay, give me a spot check,
go.
Obsidian and Ansel, because only you would have line of sight on that.
Fuck's sake. Another 5.
Actually, depends.
17.
Okay. Ansel, you look through the door as Obsidian opens it. The flame on that candle moves in a different direction to what it would go. How it would move if you opened a door next to a candle. Usually, open the door, you see the candle go that way. But oddly, the candle goes in a different direction. It's like it's pretending.
Ansel will say, "I saw that," to the candle.
The candle begins to bubble and and the flame in it begins to emanate brighter and brighter and brighter. And the wax of this thing begins to spread out wide across the table. And you note that in this room, it appears to be drawing the wax of other candles to it. They begin forming these really strange, amorphic shapes. These candles begin to grow and appear to reach out and have limbs almost. The great elongated heads begin to stretch out. The flames that flicker upon their brows become sickle-like as they burn there.
Oh.
And, they appear to begin to morph into some strange candle creature, and it blazes with moonlight. You have a choice. You face this confrontation, or we call it. It's up to you three, because I know what time we're on. It's up to you.
It's pushing it a little bit for me if it's going to go too long.
It will. So in that case,
yeah,
we shall...
So
No. I think that's better in a way. I would hate to feel like we're going to rush this. So as these candles blazing with moonlight, blazing seemingly with a power source linked with Ansel's power, that is where we're going to leave the strangers tonight. My goodness. Castle Redhaven holds many secrets. So, that was fun. The encounter with the cadaver collector went very differently to how I foresaw that. So that was great. What we're going to do is, as we do at the end of every session, we just ask the players their thoughts before we sign off. Let's start with Mike. What were your thoughts of this session? What are you reflecting on? What do you think is going to matter to you going forward with what you learned today and what you did today?
Well, some excellent judo chops and launching of people, which was jolly good fun.
That was a great move.
Yeah.
Just more tools in his arsenal. I think, yes, everything with Derek right now, and the oncoming omen and the threat of it. Weirdly, for Silaster, his mind is now, having seen this wraith, and his mind's now not fully there. He's with his kin, and that rage is simmering. And I think he needed to see it to an extent. He was a bit lost, kind of coming back. But there is it may not be a good thing, but there is an anger brewing. There is a...
I'm curious actually, because obviously I didn't know where you were going to go with this session, to be honest with you. Did you get roughly the idea of the Rays of Arvanath? Is that clear to you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. It's just hard to know if that was delivered clearly, because I obviously gave a lot of exposition at that point in time. So that's good to know.
This makes sense.
Great. Okay. Well, more on that in the future, I'm sure. And yes, you saw the reason why Ectis the Turnblade is called the Turnblade. With that, we move to Matt. Thoughts and feelings at the end of the session.
Yeah, I think everything's still very open, isn't it? I'm not really sure what to make of it at the moment. I thoroughly enjoyed the combat, although I got into a very virtually inescapable situation and had to mildly self-sacrifice to get out of it. But we managed with a little help from my friend. Yeah, thank God. We slowed it down, gave you the chance to get the old disguise on, which was awesome, by the way. And got away with it. I think it's nice to deal with combats in different kind of ways sometimes and get around them and win, through subterfuge, or win in a way that isn't always just brute force. And I really appreciated that. So, yeah, awesome stuff.
Yeah, I really like that, and I think it's just a testament to you guys, just as how you're generally very experienced and you know what you're doing with your abilities. So the fact that you were able to do that and you did have a plan, despite the fact that it had that ability just to grab you whenever it wanted, is pretty impressive. So you all did very well there, for sure. And finally,
get me some sort of freedom of movement trinket.
Yeah, or like some oil or something to throw over yourself so nothing can grab hold of you. You become like a slippy boy.
Yeah, I really do. There's got to be some sort of something of freedom of movement. Ring I don't know.
There must be.
See. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I think we should actually, because it does get quite hard to think of useful magic items for you guys sometimes, particularly when I don't really give you weapons or armor. I don't really. Yeah, so I don't know. That's maybe.
Me, I know we joke about it with the net and everything being his big weakness, but it really is getting grabbed is such a weakness because he has got -1 strength. He is not strong. He's a very weak individual physically.
It's the story of spellcasters, isn't it? If you get hold of them, you can just
that's what I put that was my dump stat. There it was.
Food for thought then, and we'll think about maybe potentially some items you could get. Maybe we'll see. But then finally, Dom, Ansel, thoughts at the end of the session and all of the session.
Very excited to see this candle thing. Very excited. And the having to stop there is almost better because it builds the anticipation. I want to know what it is, and why it has a familiar power. Very, very interested in the candle. Candle man.
Yeah.
If it comes out, instead of fighting us, starts singing B.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
And that's all we can sing because of copyright reasons.
Yes, oh
Don't sing
man.
more than 5 seconds.
Stepping on Disney's toes as well as Rowling. My God, we're really asking for it.
Fuck, we're screwed.
So screwed. You know, you
pick
can't
two
win.
worse.
I can't win. Challenge rating 200 Disney lawsuit.
Have fun.
Just a giant Mickey Mouse steps in.
It's just a Balor with Mickey Mouse ears on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the clip on his?
Yeah. Just trying to think if there's anything I can add, but no, I think that pretty much covers it. And yeah, you're right. The reason why I wanted to give you the choice is because obviously I like you guys to pretty much dictate what we do in this game for the most part. So, but I think you're right. I think it is best that we have stopped there. So in that case, for those of you watching live after the fact, thank you ever so much for dropping by. If you watch us live, and thank you for dropping by if you're watching us after the fact as well. If you'd like to see more like this on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe. And if you want to watch us live, please drop on over to Twitch and give us a follow and hit that bell so you know when we go live, and then you can spend bones to give us boons to change the course of history in a campaign forever. Although it does, that's the other thing I was going to say. I just remembered it was quite funny because I used a ruination, which is basically a disadvantage, and it achieved nothing. And Obsidian, you used an inspiration, and it also achieved nothing. So sometimes powerful.
But I used it, and it completely changed the check. So
that's true. Yeah.
Like it wouldn't have succeeded if
oh yeah, of course.
That from Redhaven, so.
I'm not trying to say that
Redhaven.
exactly special thanks to Redhaven. I'm not trying to say that it hasn't got power. Of course it has power. Advantage is insane as a mechanic, in my opinion. But it sometimes fate has it out for us. With all that said, all that remains to be said is thanks for watching, and don't forget to bone them rolls. Goodbye.
Bone 'em.
Until next time.
Bone bro.
Goodbye.